And let's see. How'd you do that, booger? How'd you do that, booger? Get out of there. How did he get out of there, huh? Popped right out. I'm just inviting people at the moment. I still got one viewer. Just sitting here getting some people invited. It's taking me a minute, but I'm getting there. Just decided out of the blue just to have a little hangout for a little while. And just sit around and chit chat a little bit. See if anybody wanted to come in and hang out and do a little chatting. I'm going through a list here to see if anybody wants to join in. Sending out invites. I'm having to kind of like go one by one at the moment because that's the only way to do it that I know of at the moment. And I'm going through my subscriber list, inviting subscribers. Having to do this one by one, so we're giving it a shot here. Wonder if that's NC Van Man watching. Last time when I started to hang out and it was acting goofy, yeah, it was NC Van Man. Ooh, what a long day today. Not so much as long as rough. Let's try to do this one. Yeah, just wait a minute, Mom. I'll let you out. Just hold on. Go through and add some more. Paste, copy, copy, paste. Thank goodness for that. I never remember all these addresses. And let me know if you want to come into the chat or hang out, whatever anybody calls it. I guess everybody calls it a little bit different here and there. Scrolling through, seeing if there was anybody that might be interested. Oh, let's see. Yeah, it's a little boring at first when you first get started on it, trying to invite people, get people to come in and hang out. It takes a little bit for them to get their invite, or whether or not they're online. It's also another. I'm sitting on my little bed right here right now. Mom and then left, and I still don't have my table all put back together. Oh, my hair is terrible. What a day. Rained all day. Gets humid. The hair starts curling up. Still sending some out. Tried to put in my circle, but it didn't work that way. So I'm trying this way. It's like my little ferret over there's awake, bouncing around in his cage. see. Check out a few more. Miss Janice ain't been in one forever. I hope I'm sending these to the right messengers, right place. Looking at, oh, my legs. Tired. Let's see. Put up on my Google. Now let's see. Google page. Wait for it to load. Let's see. Quick event. No, that ain't what I want. Cancel. Having a live chat. If you want to come in, let me, oops, I can't even spell. Let me know for Mark, quiet. Stop. No. You know better. Scare me to pieces. Silly dogs. Digger. No. I said no. No bark. Put it like this. And I'll select this circle. I'll put done. Maybe I can do it that way. Let's see. So if I cancel that out, close that up, trying to get rid of some of these things so I don't have but one window. Well, maybe two. Oh, I guess I've got to hit share. It'd be wise to hit share. Did I get that one right? Okay, I got that one. Trying to get my windows sorted out here. Sorting windows. So I can see more than one window. And that way I can scroll down here to see the chat on the other window. This got an age restricted, so you don't get these teenagers and stuff that come in and you have to boot them out because they're come in and start messing around on your video and making noise and just trolling, just causing problems. Might have to set this up on a little box or something, kind of like looking upward like that. I got my doggy. Look at my boys. Look at my boys sitting right here. They want to be on camera too, don't you? Did you want to be on camera? Are you listening to Mama? You can be on camera? Now. That's close enough. We never on lap. That's the big boy digger. Sit down. You're supposed to look at this. See, this is a computer screen. Look over here. Look over here. Mama got to teach you. Mama got to teach you. That's a digger boy. That's a digger boy. And there's the peanut. There's a peanut. There's the peanut. Kisses, kisses. Mama puppies. Oh, yes, mama puppies. You gonna be on TV? You boys gonna be on TV with mama? Oh my goodness, you're so excited. Oh, you're so happy. You're so happy. You're in the way. Mama can't see. I can't see. You're in the way. Being goofy. You gonna look out the window? Zero viewers. They all disappeared on me. So I'll just sit here and wait a while. Maybe I'll brush my hair. Who knows? It's starting to grow already from my haircut. I couldn't believe it. I had a good time though when my mom's here. Mom and sister, we had a good time. I'll be putting up some videos. Oh my, I need a hat day. Been rainy all day. We've been riding in and out on the golf cart, and my hair just curls up, and wants to go every which way. Can you get off my leg? Here, come on, move. Lay down over here. You put my leg to sleep. Mama ain't got her table put back up. You put my leg to sleep. I'm gonna go sit here and chit chat with some people if they come in. There's my glasses all glary. Let's sit here and just chit chat a little bit. Play with the dogs. I gotta let one of them out. He's sitting by the door. Relax from the day. We had a lot of cabins to clean today. Wouldn't have been too bad, but it was like a church camp group of kids. And needless to say, cabins were a mess. Oh my goodness. There was like melted fudge popsicles in the refrigerator, down the back of the side refrigerator, wet towels laying all over the floors, and soda cans under the bed, candy wrappers, and sunflower seeds everywhere. I mean, any place you swept, you were finding something. One of the cabins, a bunch of kids left a bunch of little pennies up by the TV. Well, I got kind of cute, they're just trying to leave a little tip, but it was just a mess. And we did two of these cabins. Normally took our normal time be maybe I'll say about an hour per cabin, but we was only able to get two cabins done. Maybe let's see. Well, that was after lunch by the time we got the second cabin done. No, I think we did three today. But anyhow, it was a mess. I don't know why they can't have the kids when they're camping, and each cabin's supposed to have a counselor or adult, something there. But I don't know what happened, why they left it such a mess. So just sitting here. I'm going to probably make me some coffee, wait for people. I don't have these very often, but I thought, well, I had nothing to do right now. I'll go ahead and make a little chat. See if anybody had nothing else to do, wanted to come in and hang out for a little bit. So if you want to pop in, get on camera, and sit here and shoot the breeze, let me know. I get you a link to come in. I got age restricted for the reason of these young teenagers that I've been seeing and noticing on other hangouts that, glasses are even crooked. Should I do like that guy that's gotten famous? Like, it's hot. It's hot. It's so hot. I know I'm nuts. But I'd rather laugh. Why not laugh? I wonder if there's any other hangouts or anything going on today. One more day working, and I get my 2 days off. I had to go work at the lodge today, or not today. Twice this week I had to go work at the lodge down the road. It's run by the owner. I had to clean some rooms, which room cleaning is very hard work. Anybody has ever done it, it's a hard work, a hard day. And then, what was it, yesterday? They called us back up and wanted us to do a couple of their cabins over there. And the main head housekeeper said, well, yeah, we got 2 cabins here. They're kind of small. Our cabin, they're small cabins, so shouldn't be too bad. Well, first cabin we got to get there and stairs just, I mean, it's first the driveway to these cabins went down like this. Thank God I had the little pickup truck. Getting up was a chore. You had to start down at the bottom and get a running start to get up that hill. Otherwise, you sit there and your tires would start spinning. Once we got down to the cabin, we finally, little one trail right there in the woods, ended up, you look up and these stairs go all the way up to this cabin. So we had to haul everything from the pickup truck up the steps to the cabin because they didn't have no special supplies there at the cabin. We had to load up at the lodge everything we needed in the back of the pickup truck. Then we had to drive probably about a mile down the road to the cabins, down in this holler. It was definitely down in the holler. Clean up all the cabins out there. One had one of these great big jacuzzi bathtubs inside. Bathroom, full refrigerator, stove, everything. It was really nice because you look out the window and like the back window, the trees are right there by the deck. It's very woodsy. The other cabin had a jacuzzi on the back deck, but that wasn't working. But fireplaces, they're big, very high, vaulty type ceilings, whatever. But it's really nice cabins. Just terrible driveway to get to them. Oh, what else should I chat about? I don't want to give away anything about my upcoming videos. Gosh, these glasses are really crooked or something. I guess there ain't no telling because I always end up bending them, stepping on them, lose them, find them, drop them. Thank goodness they're not prescription because I'm really bad with glasses. Never used to have to wear them, so past few years I've been having to get adjusted to them. Takes a little getting used to. And then every time I turn around, they're blurry, so I've got to take and clean them again. See if anybody's left me any messages or anything. Okay, where is this? Just checking. Where's that? I need to do like Lucky does. I need to have an extra screen, one for this and one for that, so I don't have to keep going back and forth. Back to this one, back to that one. Which one is up? No, that ain't the button I want. Too many buttons. Well, if you want to come in, let me know. Just having a little chit chat in case anybody else was bored, wanted to come in. See if anybody else had nothing else to do right now. Let's see what we got over here. We can draw. Draw is not supported on this platform. Okay, I guess I can draw. And it says control room. Don't need that. Cameraman. Cameraman download app. What's that all about? Trying to learn a few new things. It says as guest join. I cast a large video that audience is seeing. Slide this over. Broadcast a large video that I see to my audience or video feeds. I don't know what that one's all about. New guests in my large 3+ broadcast are muted when they join. How would you want to mute people when they join? It's silly. Screen share. Don't want to screen share. Let's see. Oh, I can turn up the volume. I can do that. Let's go to our Google effects. Put on some silly hats and stuff. Why not? Time to hit random. See what would come up. Kitty with the barnacle. Anybody see any interesting movies or anything? I got some Netflix. I got to figure out the password stuff to get in it. Meow. 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 Oh, I was going to Goofy. My viewer left. Need to make some more coffee. Didn't drink coffee like I did today. I've been wanting it. Love my coffee. You hit random, change again, see what would come up. Random, select. Oh, the cat in the hat. In French, I suppose. How about this one and that one? Take that one off. Okay, do one hat at a time. One hat. Oh, escape. It's not following me. I'm too fast. Too fast for it. And I'll put on a crown. Where's the crown? It's way up there. Maybe let's go back and follow me. I wiggle my head to get my crown to go on. There we go. I got a monocle instead. Hello, my viewers. Who wants to come in and chit chat? I don't want to sit here and talk all by myself. I could tell you some stories. Let me think of one. Told you one on the video. Let's come up. Let me think of another one. Oh, I guess I can tell you this one. My sister will probably see this too. I don't know if my mom knows about it, but my dad knew about it or knows about it. She was 18. I'm 4 years younger. She was like 18 or 19. And I'm 4 years younger, so I was like 14 or 15. And my stepmother had some of her family coming up. So we were told we could sleep in the pop-up, fold-out pop-up tent or camper. And our driveway was a horseshoe driveway, so on one side of the horseshoe driveway was my grandmother's house and a little bit of a sidewalk to my dad's house, or our house. So on the other side of the horseshoe driveway was where we put up the pop-up camper. And we lived out in the country, so it wasn't like we had close neighbors. And we were told, hang out there. My sister said something about taking me, about us going to a movie or roller skating or something like that, so we had something to do. And Dad said, yeah, you two go out, go to a movie, make sure you come straight home after the movie. Well, my sister ends up going like 5 miles down the road to this little town. I won't go ahead and name it or nothing, but one of her local hangouts. And we ended up going in. It was a little tavern, little bar. And they asked her what she wanted to drink, and they asked me what I wanted to drink. And I looked at my sister because, hey, I wasn't old enough then. And I'm trying to get this glare off my glasses. Let's see. That helps some. But I wasn't old enough then, and she wasn't saying nothing, so I went ahead and ordered a beer or something. I can't remember exactly what it was to drink because that was the least of my problems. But I'll come to that. So we sat there, and she kept sitting there talking to her friends and that, and I kept telling her, I said, look at my watch. I said, we got to get going. We got to get going home because, Dad told us we had to be back by a certain time. And if we're not, he's going to be watching out the window for us to come home. Oh, we'll get home. We'll get home. Don't worry. So getting closer to time to be home, and I said, I'm going to go wait in the car. So I went and sat out in the car, and she stayed inside the bar and waited and waited and waited, and I think it was like around midnight. We were supposed to be back something around 10, so it was around midnight, 1 o'clock. She comes out finally, and we head down the road home. It's only 5 miles away. Get back, go to the pop-up camper, and I started zipping down because when we pulled in, she turned our headlights off, so we pulled in the far end of the horseshoe driveway. We figured, Dad and that wouldn't see. And then we pulled in, turned the car off and stuff, went in. And just as I was zipping down the zipper of the camper, this hand comes in and grabs me. I screamed. I I didn't know I could scream like that. But here it is, pitch dark, 12, 1 o'clock at night, and this hand comes in and grabs me. All I could think of was somebody, one of them people that she's hanging around with in the bar, followed us. And I screamed and I jumped back and stuff. The zipper flies up, and there's my dad standing there. And he said, "Where you girls been?" And I said, he goes, "I know where you been." He goes, "You were down the road." He goes, "You guys were down to the tavern." I said, "Well, Dad, she's the one driving. I don't have a driver's license stuff. That's where we ended up." And he said, "That's no excuse." He goes, "You could have got a phone and called home and had me come get you. She could have stayed there if she wanted because she was a grown up and adult by then." And I don't know. I guess when you're 14, 15 years old, around 15, you don't think of things like that. You don't think, well, hey, I might be able to get served a drink and Dad will never know. And you just, try to get away with it. You don't think about, well, I better call home and have Dad come get me because my sister took me here instead of to the movies. I'm going to get in trouble. And then he started yelling at my sister and said, "You're 18. Make sure tomorrow you just get out and stuff." And he looks at me and he said, "I can't believe that you couldn't have called home and had somebody come get you and that you guys went to the tavern instead of going to the movies." And he said that he was going to have me go send me to a girls' school or girls' home or something. And I mean, it was just, he was mad. That's all I can say. He was very mad. And I just panicked the next day. We got up, and I kept telling my sister, "I told you we should have went to the movies. Dad knows everything. He finds out everything." And she just thought, okay, we was going to do it. And she was driving. I mean, I guess I could have walked 5 miles home at night. I didn't think about that. I didn't think about calling home. Anyhow, I panicked all the next day, waiting to find out if my dad's going to call and send me to a home or girls' home or what. And mad at my sister and told her she needed to leave and not come back around or something. And anyhow, I ended up talking to my grandmother later that afternoon, and I said, "Did Dad say anything? Have you heard from, Dad about anything about sending me, to a girls' home or something?" She goes, "Oh, I think he was just doing that to just scare you." She goes, "He ain't come over and used the phone. He ain't said nothing to me. He was just upset because he said that you girls went someplace you weren't supposed to." And the thing, those were two things that scared me the most was that hand coming through the zipper as I was zipping it down and grabbing my arm scared me to death. And then him saying that because I didn't call home and my sister just keep me there, that he was going to send me away. So that was quite an amazing teenage thing, I guess. We didn't go many places or go hang out with friends and stuff like kids do today. It was We talked to each other in school. For the longest time, Dad wouldn't put a phone in. Grandmother had a phone right next door to us, and he said, well, there ain't no sense of having two phones. We got one right there if we need to use one. And I said, well, I want to talk to my friends, my school friends. He goes, why? You talk to them and see them all day in school. What do you got to talk to them at night for? He was going to see them tomorrow, so why can't it wait till tomorrow? So for the longest time, we didn't even have a phone as a teenager. And I know that we had the wringer washer. We used a wringer washer for a long period of time. And when that broke down, then my dad went ahead and bought a regular wash machine. I was thankful for that. But yeah, the wringer washers did fine. But in the wintertime, when you got the wringer washer and it's really cold, and you're in Wisconsin, and you're trying to hang clothes outside to let them dry as much as you can before you put them in the dryer. Oh, that was a lot of fun. Does anybody want to come in and chat? I see you got a few viewers out there. Okay. Just rather sit and listen to me chat or talk. That's okay. Let me try to think of something else to tell you. I told you in that one video what I wanted to be when I was 18. I wanted to be a motorcycle mechanic. Let's see. Lately, some of the shows that I enjoy watching, if I do watch TV, now that I have cable, I haven't had cable in years. I like this, what is that, Alaskans, The Last of the Alaskans. It's been interesting. I watched some of that Finding Bigfoot, but it's kind of, yeah, right. Doesn't seem like I ever find anything, it's pretty much repetitive, same. They go here, it's the same noises, it's the same type of things, but they never run across anything more than they did the videos before. I like cooking shows. I like trying to figure out new ways to make things, or it gives me ideas of things that taste good together that maybe I can create my own little dish of spices. Let's see. What other shows do I like? Watch a whole lot of TV only towards the evening. Just I'd be surprised if cable there's really not that much on. So I try to watch something that's interesting. Animal Planet. I like animals, of course. I got 3 animals. This one here is all snug up behind me. Let's see if you see it. Well, it's kind of bright right there, but he's snug and got his head tucked in right behind me, sleeping away. I don't have my table up yet. Mom and them just left this morning back to Florida, so I haven't quite put up my table yet. I got off of work with that long day, and I said, I am just wore out. My hair's all twisted and curling from the weather and the rain. So, bad hair day. It's just been a long day. Just rough. Lots of cleaning. My legs are letting me know it's been a long day. Well, give us another half an hour, and if people are busy doing stuff and don't have time to come in and chat, that's okay. I'll shut it down. Working on my house after my granddaughter leaves. I'll try on off camera because I look like that's wind over. Oh, girl. Debbie, that's very nice of you. Yeah, you don't have to come on camera. I mean, you can just have your mic on and sit and chat. And you got to take care of your granddaughter and stuff right now and do what you got to do. And I'll stay on for a while. And, oh, my ankle's doing better. I've took off the brace and the bandage and everything. And just walking around without it. It's still got a little pinching and some weakness, but that's, 6 to 8 weeks for muscles and tendons. So I got a few weeks of healing yet. Just try to take it easy and not do something stupid, of course. Yeah, look at me, bad hair though, you're crazy. But yeah, I just try and take it easy. It gets the pinching and aching, but that's normal. At least I can walk on it. Depends on the weather too, of the type of weather. You know how some certain bones and stuff get achy on certain weathers. I hope you're doing okay. I think the last video I seen you on recently, you kind of got a little more puffy from your medication. Pretty soon you're gonna. Well, that's fine. Just whenever, like I say, I'm gonna have to make me some coffee anyhow. I've only had like, I don't know what, 3 cups all day. That's minor for me. Very minor. I pretty much drink coffee most of the time. Since it's been a long day, it's like coffee, caffeine. Yeah, just drive me nuts, this little curl right here. But it makes me want to take a flat iron and flatten it out because, holy smokes. What do you expect a person to look like when they come home from work, right? Yeah. Yeah, my ankles over time have gotten weaker and stuff because I've twisted my ankles so many times that I just was afraid this last time that I had done it. It was kind of worst one I've ever had, and I thought, oh God, I broke something. Thank God I didn't. I'm happy I didn't. But it was a little bit scary there for a while to not knowing, so that's why I decided to go to the hospital, get it checked out. At least I'd know for sure. But I used to roller skate all the time. I mean, I guess still got good balance. I'm surprised I still got good balance. As you get older and stuff, your balance I wouldn't think was as good, but I still can keep myself from falling pretty good. But yeah, I know how that weak ankle stuff goes. If you don't mind, while we're all sitting here, I'm gonna go right behind me, which is my little kitchen. I'm in my little, I guess, bedroom. My little dining room's right there. That door with the mirror on it back here. It's my little bathroom. I'm only in a 22-foot drivable Class C. But I gotta put on some coffee. I am pretty close to being gone. Here's a cup that one of my grandkids made me for Christmas. And I bought them the cups for Christmas, and they decorated them. It's an art project. And then you take and put them in the oven, turn it on. I put them in the oven first. You turn it on, and I think you leave it for an hour, and then turn the oven off, let it cool on its own, and the paint stays. That was a nice little present I gave to them, and they returned, decorated it, and gave it back. So it was pretty cool. Debbie, you might look in your, let's see, look in your Google Plus messages. I think I posted it to people in there. I went and posted it to everybody that was following me, that follows me or is in my circles. I will have to, well, no, wait a minute. I'll have to actually, I think, give it to you personally because I didn't post it directly. Last time I had problems with these Spanish people had come in, these Spanish guys, and they just kind of like went crazy and started talking all over the place, and I had to start booting them out. Hello, NC Van Man. I'm trying to get you guys a link here. Let's see. I'm clicking on Debbie, and I'll send her a link. Okay, I'll go to her YouTube. I'm going to your YouTube, Debbie, and I'm going to send you a message that way. How does that sound? I'm going to your about. Send message. Slide over here. Send message. And I'll get you that link. Or I could go up here. Actually, I can do it this way. Get it spelt right here. Yeah, I was spelling it wrong. Sorry. Just paste your name in there. There it is. I found it. Okay, it says invitation posted. I gotta go back. I don't know why I hit that way. Let me pause that. Darn, oh my god, them things are so pesky. Find me a fly swatter. Okay, let me read here. I don't know if I think I sent you one, NC Van Man, if you wanted to come in. If not, I can get you a link. I've been sitting here not acting, well, I haven't acting as goofy as I was last one. I'm a little bit tired tonight for acting too goofy. But you know, sometimes you get tired, you can act even more goofier. Ooh, I'm gonna find a fly. But yeah, let me throw some coffee on and let my dog out. He's over here by the door wanting out. So I will, well, actually be able to see me. I'm right there on camera. So let my doggy out and grab some coffee. Oh. Yeah, it feels sore getting up. Hold on, I'll let you out. Let you out. Back up. Get your leash. Okay. Stay. Here. Up. All right, time for coffee. Yep, small RV, 22 foot. I don't know if you can hear me or not. I see my little green light going though. But I got a little coffee in this one I'm going to heat up, but I got to throw some in the regular coffee pot. My mom left me some coffee. She left me some trail mix, all different kinds of trail mix, and then she left me some toffee. We got up in Gatlinburg. She put a bunch of stuff in little baggies before she left. Now, if you want to roast a marshmallow, let me tell you, these monsters are the marshmallows to roast. Look how huge them are. Monsters. It only needed one of these when we roasted marshmallows. That's all I could handle. That's like 3 in 1. Things are monster crazy. I'll check your chat messages in a minute. Get my coffee set up.
Hello, D.
Hello.
Thanks for the link.
Up here making me some coffee so I can have a little caffeine in my system.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. Caffeine in.
Yeah. Oh, I drink it pretty much all day long. I should be drinking other stuff, but well, how that is. Gotta have that coffee.
If I don't drink coffee, I'm not very good at doing anything.
Yeah.
I think I'm addicted to it.
Some people it's Coke, some people it's Pepsi.
Yeah. Well, at least with the coffee, you don't have all that sugar and stuff.
Yeah. Definitely not near as much as in sodas.
I don't put anything in my coffee except for a little bit of milk, so it's not too bad. Makes my nerves shake if I drink a lot, but finally makes me nervous. That's what old Carl said.
One of the perks of working cabins, cleaning cabins, is people leave stuff. I leave
Yeah.
like open stuff like this here is
Yeah.
Starbucks dark roast. Oh God, that's delicious. I just finished it off now.
Yeah, it's nice when that happens. I used to clean a car wash. I had 2 car washes that I cleaned.
Yeah.
It was like the side job. And you would be surprised at things that people leave at those car washes.
I bet.
I mean, they'll throw away stuff that's nice stuff. I mean, just right in the garbage. And I even had somebody throw out an air conditioner one time right in the car bay. And I took it home and used it for 2 years.
Wow.
There wasn't nothing wrong with it. They just didn't want to dump it, so I guess they just thought they'd throw it out at the car wash.
Yeah, a lot of places won't take them no more.
And also, one time, somebody stripped a car on the back of the car wash right in the back parking lot and left it sitting on blocks. I said, well, this is a new one. I've never seen this happen before. And
Definitely.
I had to get a wrecker to come haul it off, and I found out later that it had been stolen, and somebody just stole it and stripped it.
Oh, they stole it and stripped it there and left the leftovers. Hey, good work.
But actually, the people that stole it was the ones that was trying to hide it from the finance company, so they were trying to make it look like that somebody stole it when they didn't.
Oh, trying to do a little
big hassle. My uncle owned the wrecker that hauled it, so that's how I knew all about it, because he had to deal with the people in the car lot.
Trying to set up a little scam there, huh? Wow.
Debbie, look in your YouTube messages under your spam. It might have went under your spam on your YouTube messages. Is that where you sent it, Dee?
I believe so. Yeah.
That's where I found mine at.
If you go to like YouTube, what I did is I go to people's YouTube and I go to about. It says send message or messages.
Yeah, you just have to check your messages on your YouTube, and then sometimes it'll kick it into the spam folder, so make sure you check that.
It'll say held or being held or something like that. You check that one. If not, I'll get one sent to you through your regular email. I'm going to get my glasses so I can see to read. There. All right, Gmail is probably best way. Okay, I'll go ahead and send it to your Gmail then. Let me do a little cutting and pasting here, or copy and pasting. Let's see.
Cooled off any down there?
Actually, it's supposed to be starting. I think starting tomorrow. It's supposed to start getting back into the 80s. Before it was.
Well, I know it's hot here. North Carolina. It's been in the 90s every day, and that's unbreathable for me. I can't take it.
Yeah, and then like today, this first day I think since I've been here that it's like rained as much as it has. Okay, there's that. Hold on, girl, I'm working on it. I'm gonna, Debbie, go to your Google page, Google Plus page. see. About, let's see, links.
That her address, her email address is up there in the. You may send a link to that.
Yeah, because I'm having a problem getting into my email right now.
Okay, I'll do it for you.
It's asking for my password now, and I don't have it on hand, and I haven't been into it. You know, if you don't go into it for like a week or two, then have to redo your password.
Yeah, I've had to.
I also clicked on the invite button right here in the chat and sent her one, so I don't know where that one went.
I had to write all my stuff down because I kept forgetting passwords. I've lost accounts because of that.
Well, yeah, but you got to nowadays because they want you to change your password so often because of all this hacking and stuff going on. Took that light off behind my head. I thought I seen something. There we go. You doggies ready to come in, or are you done? Ready to come in, or are you staying out? One house? Come on. There you go. Well, from what I understand, we might have some bears around here.
That ain't good.
I guess somebody that lives up behind the campground, up on one of these roads, came down and said that he's seen that there's a bear up in the woods behind him, which is up behind us in the campground. So they posted a note on the doors down there to office says, "We have visitors, bears, so please do not leave your garbage out," and so on and so forth, you know.
Yeah.
Haven't seen any yet. Never know when they come wandering around. Are you going to get up here and be on camera? You want to say hi to everybody? I say hi to everybody? Well, don't get so close. Look. Look here at this window. Bigger. Look right here. You see yourself? No, not that window. This window. I said window, so he's sitting there looking out the window. Yeah, I had a good time with my mom and that way they were here. It was most of the time we just, hung here at the campground and in the camper and cooked out and stuff. It's more like they were on vacation, so they were here to kick back and relax. We did go up to. Huh?
I was telling Debbie I sent it to her email.
Okay. But yeah, since they were just here on vacation and relaxing and stuff, that we just took it easy. I had to work during the daytime anyhow, and except for my 2 days off, that's when we went riding around. I showed them some sights and stuff a little bit, and we went to Gatlinburg for a little while, and they really enjoyed their day.
Yeah.
I think my mom's planning on coming back up and spending a couple months with me.
That could get interesting, especially if a bear comes along.
Yeah.
If you have a good visit with her, I know the last time I seen you was going down to the office to meet her.
Yep. They got here, and she goes, "I tried calling you 3 times." I said, "My phone didn't ring. I was sitting right here on video." I said, "You can listen to video for past hour. It didn't ring." Sitting right in the window. Well, come find out she's trying to call the wrong number. It's a number I hadn't had in a couple years. I'm like, "Mom, I told you I didn't have that number no more. That's a Tennessee number. I've been in Wisconsin 10 years." So, yeah, but she found me. Just right at the time the office was closing up for them to radio me and let me know.
Yeah. Just wondering if that link went through.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting to see here. Yeah, I set it for 8 o'clock, but it said you can have the hangout for up to 8 hours, so no biggie as far as time wise. I didn't have nothing else to do, and I worked my butt off today, so I said I'm relaxing tonight.
8 hours is a long time.
Well, I probably won't go that long. Sometimes
I think the more successful ones are shorter, like 4 hours, maybe 3 hours.
Yeah. And I figured it'd take a time for people to, maybe see it because I didn't broadcast that I was going to have one. And just like all of a sudden I thought, yeah, let me see if anybody wants to chat.
I've seen some the long ones. I've seen some of them fall apart after the 7th hour.
Oh, yeah. There she goes.
It took me forever. I never did find it in that YouTube, but I checked my email again, and Van Man sent it to me in my email.
Yeah, I couldn't get into my email.
I'm terrible. I haven't really messed around with this stuff very much, and I don't know why they make it so difficult to dig in there and find your messages.
Yeah.
There should be a button on the.
There's a lot of people that don't even know about that, where you can find them.
I've accidentally come across them a couple of times.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
I even went up to the top of the
Google and YouTube thing, it's difficult. It's not self-explanatory, and you got to dig around and dig around.
It took me 3 or 4 times just to figure out how to get this right to even start one.
Well, I wouldn't try to start a Hangout because my internet connection really stinks. I need to get them back out here. 2 weeks ago, I had a guy come out. He was here for 3 hours. Oh,
Wow.
we got it all fixed up and everything. Give me a new router, and it's still not fixed. It's a little tiny bit better than it was, because there was like more than half of the day that we weren't able to get on the internet at all. And now we just have to, when it goes off, we can just click right back on it, but it's not steady. And if I was trying to do a Hangout and getting hung up on all the time, that wouldn't be good.
Right. I'm trying to get the glare off my glasses, but it seems like no matter, I guess it's coming from the computer screen.
Yeah, it's almost impossible to get rid of that glare.
Yeah. Well, I was reading something about if you're doing videos about putting a light like lower and kind of slightly behind you a little bit, it'll help take glare off in glasses, but
Yeah.
something about the direction the light comes from. Well, I don't have a light turned on. It's just the light from the window. Hello, is this your grandbaby?
This is Enadina.
Hello.
We're waiting for her mama to come and get her. She's been here since last night.
Can you wave to me? Can you say hi?
Hi. Hi.
I like your ponytail.
Yeah, she's got real long bangs and her hair's real straight. So we have to do something to get her bangs out of her face. Her mother's hair was the same way when she was a little girl.
Yeah. I tried to, my granddaughter, she always had her hair in her face when, kindergarten doing schoolwork. I always have to try to put it out of her face.
Hi.
Hi. Are you at Grandma's house?
Mom. I'm waiting on Mom. She
Waiting on Mom?
She calls me Mom. Mom.
That's your mom?
She knows I'm Grandma, but she calls me Mom. It's just easier for her, I guess.
I called my grandma Mom too because I lived with her for 4 years.
Hi. Hi.
Hi.
She saw you, Van Man, and she's saying hi to you.
Hello.
Hi. Okay, go play with Popo now. Let's see what Popo's doing.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, she's 2. She was 2 in February, and she is a busy little girl. But when her mom works at 5:45 in the morning, so if it's on the weekend, for sure, I'd rather have her the night before so she lets me sleep a little bit in the mornings.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, come and spend the night.
She slept till about 9 o'clock this morning, which was really nice.
Oh, yay. That's unusual for a youngin'. They usually up at crack of dawn. Ha ha.
So, yeah, I've been trying to push myself a little bit every day. I feel great. I really do. I'm just tired.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have any active infections in my body, or that chemo really took care of a lot of stuff. It's really helped me.
Great.
As soon as I get my stamina back, I'm going to be ready to go back to work.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, I noticed that, when I first met you, you saying how your medication makes you puffy or whatever you had.
Yeah.
And I noticed, I was watching a Hangout the other night, maybe it was within this past week, I was watching bits of a Hangout, and you were on there. I said, "Oh goodness, that medicine pooped your face out some more." I said, "You poor thing."
Well, that should start going down because I'm down to only 20 milligrams of it now. I get to step down 10 milligrams every 10 days.
Oh, cool.
For about 30 days now, I've been stepping down on it every 10 days, and hopefully it'll start going down. But I am full of water, too. When I went to the doctor the other day, he told me I probably had an extra 15, 20 pounds of water on me.
Yeah.
So, but that's
And then
cool.
with the
I
heat,
need
it
to
doesn't
drink
help
more
either.
water.
Yeah. And then with the heat, it doesn't help.
I just get so full.
Uh-huh.
I would drink 17 glasses a day if it didn't make me so full.
Does that medication make you thirsty too?
No.
Oh.
No, I'm not thirsty. That's another
Just like
problem.
drinking water.
Yeah. Come here.
Yeah, there's days where I drink a lot of water, and then there's my days where I drink a lot of my coffee.
Yeah. Have you been watching any of the other hangouts?
Not really much at all this week because my mom and sister came up from Florida, so I tried to spend as much time with them. And
Did they stay there in the camper with you?
yeah, the small camper. They both have CPAP machines too, so we're a bit crowded in the little 22-footer here.
Do they smoke?
No.
Did they have a problem with the smell? Or you smoking while they were there? Get out of that.
No, I'd pretty much go outside, or I'd stand by the door with the door open.
Yeah.
Actually, my mom bought me a bag of tobacco and a couple boxes of filters up when she got up here because she wanted to help me out. So we ended up finding a really good deal at this one place. It was a big bag for 11 something, and then they gave you a box of free papers.
Oh.
It was like, wow, that was a good deal. But yeah, she's known I've always smoked. She used to be a smoker, but she quit, I don't know, about maybe 20 years ago.
Mm.
Yeah, I think about 20 years ago. But she knows, you do it in your own time. When you're ready to do it, you do it. If you ain't ready, you just end up, putting stress on yourself trying to quit and you smoke worse.
Yeah. Well, if I ever get a good vape pen, I'm just going to quit.
Yeah, I got that vape, but it didn't work.
What's that?
I said I got that vape, and it didn't work for me.
Well, you got to get a good one because I've tried like 3 of them, and I don't like them very much. But there's better ones out there that people really like, and when
It's getting used to too, because I've got one. Well, it's buried up here somewhere. I'm dig it out. But you can get the liquid with the nicotine in it, or you can get it with half the nicotine or 0 nicotine. So I guess you can wean yourself down.
Yeah.
It's just getting used to the vapors instead of, you're so used to how many years of actual smoke that takes some getting used to.
I ended up smoking more with the vapor because I could do it in the house, and I have to make an effort to go outside to smoke cigarette.
Yeah. In the wintertime, definitely.
A good clue. Maybe I'll still keep going outside when I do it. Because, when you go to work and stuff, they won't let you vape in there.
No.
Most places.
Well, as I heard of in some country, it was New Brunswick or something, that they're even trying to stop vaping out in public.
Yeah.
Due to girlfriend had posted it, and she said she didn't say it. It said in the article that it'll have to be after, I think, 8 p.m. at night and stop before 6 a.m. in the morning, so that way any children that are out during the daytime don't see people vaping or smoking anywhere in public. It didn't matter on the sidewalks or anything. There's something about New Brunswick.
Wow.
Well, none of my kids smoke. Well, I take that back. My stepson does. But, they, not that they never have, but they never got addicted to it. They would smoke, when they'd have a drink or something like that,
That was my sister, that was here. She he could have a cigarette or two, and then she wouldn't have another one for days or a week, or she might buy a pack and it last her a month or whatever. So, man, I wish I had that because he's the one that got me started anyhow when I turned 18 or whatever. She could buy her own cigarettes.
Well, I tried everything in the world to, not let. Well, you can't. Once kids are a certain age, you don't have any control anyway. But with my stepson, I would tell him, you can't smoke on my property. Yeah. And he'd be like, well, why? You smoke? Because I don't want to see you smoke. I don't want to see you get stuck like I am, where you have to have these things, and it's so difficult to quit. So, out of respect for me, please don't smoke on my property. Thinking that would deter him from smoking, which was pretty stupid of me, but, so he's...
you tried.
Yeah. And he has been very respectful, and he doesn't smoke around me because he knows I don't like to see it.
Yeah. And 2 out of 3 of my kids smoke.
Yeah.
So, it's like when my son started sneaking my cigarettes at like 14, 15, I really couldn't get too mad and upset because I was doing it at that age. Mm-hmm. I just told myself, rather than sneaking them from me, I said, at least let me know. There's no sense sneaking them because I know, I know how much I smoke, and I know when they start disappearing that, wait a minute, I know I didn't have that many.
Well, like I said, none of my kids really smoke. They didn't even try smoking, I think. Well, I don't know. They've never told me they did, and they've told me just about everything now.
Yeah.
You might be surprised at all the stuff that they did.
You'd be surprised, Jen, as they get older, they'll say, oh, yeah, there's something else you didn't know about.
I find, especially after my son died, I found out all kinds of stuff because they were reminiscing, the kids. Oh, yeah. Remember when we used to do that? And I'd be like, what?
My daughter does me that way. She tells me things that she's done that I didn't know about. Drives me nuts.
Yeah, it's like, well, if you would have found out then, you would have did this, or you've been so mad. And
yeah,
I think they can tell you now that they're an adult, so they won't get in trouble. It's like, hey, I'm still your parent.
Yeah. My boy that died, he was like a very honest. I mean, he never lied to me. He didn't come home and say, hey, Mom, guess what I did tonight or whatever. But if I ever found out about it or whatever and I asked him about it, he'd just tell me. So he was always real honest with me. My daughter that I'm waiting on right now, oh boy, she could have lied about what color her mother was.
Yeah. My oldest is like that. She'd lie about everything to benefit her, to where it looked good for her and nobody else.
She doesn't anymore because, she's an adult and she has her own family and, so she doesn't so much anymore. But, oh, my God, when she was a kid, she just would lie to me about anything. Anything. Stuff she didn't have to lie about.
And now that they, when they're older and they start having their own kids, they start realizing, well, was I like this? Was I like that? Up until the age that they remember. But when they're like 2 and 3, well, Mom, did I act like this? Did I act like... I'm like, yep, that's a spitting image of you right there. Oh, my God, I see what you went through. So, yeah, they kind of see it a different way once they start having their own kids, seeing how they behave and the reactions and stuff like that.
How long did you say your RV is? This is a change of subject.
What?
Your RV. How long is your RV?
From the nose to the end, but that's because it's a drivable.
Uh-huh.
It's 22 foot.
Oh, so it's I think ours is 20 foot, our little RV.
It's a little messy, but I'll show you. It's my little kitchen area.
Uh-huh.
And the one with the mirror on it is the bathroom.
Uh-huh.
Beside that, you go outside, and my little Walmart refrigerator I got. This here, I haven't put my table back up since Mom and them left, but it's 2 seats that fold down into a table.
Uh-huh.
And then driving sections up there, which I'm using for storage right now, and then it has the bunk up there with the TV.
Yeah, it's pretty similar to my little art. Mine's a 79, though. Yours is a what?
76.
Oh, yours is a 76?
Yeah, it only had 70,000 miles on it. It's got new tires on it. The motor runs awesome.
Yeah. Well, my son had gotten ours from us before he died. We bought a big camper, a pull type, and sold him our old one real cheap. And he was in the process of tearing that bunk above the driver's thing out because it had been wet.
Yep.
And so it's a mess out there right now. We haven't done a thing with it yet.
That's what
But
I
we
tried to do,
used
is tear
use
my
it.
bunk
And
out because,
I loved that thing because I could do it myself. And yeah, it was
yeah.
about the same size. I think ours is 20 foot though.
Yeah, I gotta tear my bunk out too because I thought I had the leak fixed last year, but when it rains real hard, I still have a leak coming in. It's got to be coming in from the side of the roof up here somewhere because it runs down to where the little skylight is, and then drips right there. So I always keep the bucket right there.
Yeah. Where's your air conditioner at? Do you
Well,
have an air conditioner in the
we had one
ceiling?
on the roof, right there, but it doesn't work. The fan works, but the air conditioner don't.
Mm-hmm.
So I went and did this. I bought a window air conditioner.
Yeah. But I
And
was going to say, a lot of times those leaks are coming from that air conditioner because after,
the
so
ceiling starts
long,
to sag after a
yeah.
certain.
And
Yeah.
the water rolls wherever it rolls. So
Right.
that's what I'm thinking is ours. And I told my husband, our air conditioner still works in that thing, but it's real difficult to fix those leaks once and plus now the ceiling's going to have to be rebuilt and everything. So
Yeah, I'm gonna have to replace the
let's
wooden
just take
stuff.
that one out and put a window unit in it, as small as it is.
Yep.
You
So I'm
know.
gonna have to replace the wooden stuff up there because when I was up there monkeying around to see the damage and stuff when I bought it, that I knew it would have to eventually be replaced. But I thought, well, moving south and a little bit drier weather kind of give me a little bit more time to get some money together to buy the stuff to fix it. Plus, I have to be set somewhere like this for a period of time to be able to work on it without moving around.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to get that done before I have to leave here around November sometime.
Is your compressor? What's wrong with your roof there, or is it Freon or what?
I just don't think it has any. It's probably the old Freon, being a '76 model,
Mm-hmm.
and you really can't find anybody that will service them. I've done some calling and asking around, and most people won't service them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when they go, they prefer you to just replace it, and they're kind of like around I think $600 and up for the roof conditioners. Because this one here also has an option if you want to put heat on it too.
Oh,
Right
okay.
now it's fan and air, but it can have heat added to it too.
Yeah,
But
those little campers
I
like
figured,
that, you can heat it with a space heater. That's
well,
what.
it does have a furnace on it. It has some blowing. That's why I rerouted my hot water heater to where I put shut-off valves so the water doesn't have to go through the hot water heater.
Yeah.
Because the same
But
time,
if you're at a park where they're paying for your electricity, it saves on your propane and use a space heater.
right. But if I ever decide to use the furnace without the water tank being fixed there, that way the same pilot that lights the hot water also is the same pilot that runs the furnace.
Yeah.
So that way I don't have to worry about no leak and having hot water sitting there, water going through leaking when I can have just the furnace if need be.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping I don't get that cold to have to actually turn the furnace on. I'm trying to get away from that.
Yeah. It's been nice here the last couple of days. We're in Kansas and we're usually at 100 degrees at least every day this time of year. And I bet it hasn't even got to 80 in the last couple of days.
Really?
And
I
real
think
nice. It gets
it
real
comes over
cool in
here.
the evenings.
I think it came over here because it's been, they said, unseasonal warm. It's been in the mid to upper 90s for like 2 weeks now.
Hmm.
And according to the Weather Channel, starting tomorrow, I believe it's supposed to get back down to like mid 80s again. back to their normal.
Yeah.
But up here in the Smokies, they say too. Like a lady was telling me today, she goes, "You always keep you a little rain hat or umbrella or something handy because you just never know. You
Yeah.
always rain up in the Smokies, but you know it's not something that's downpour day after day after day. It's get a little shower and it'll quit, and the sun come out and it get hot, and then maybe a little shower and you know."
How is it to, you know, we, every place that we camp usually has a shower room, and we don't, our hot water tank has I don't think we've ever had a camper that our hot water tank worked. Every single, and we've had 4 or 5 of them, 5 of them I think. We've never had one that the hot water tank worked. So we've been lucky, you know, when we stay at one campground that doesn't have a shower house, but it's so hot out there, you don't mind taking a cold shower, you know.
Right.
But most of the campgrounds that we stay at have showers. But what's it like taking a shower with just what do you got, a 6-gallon tank maybe, or 4?
Oh no, I think my tank, my holding tank is bigger than that. I'm not sure how big my holding tank is. But the hot water tank, yeah, maybe I think it's about 6 or 8 gallon. But we have a shower house down here, so I got a go-kart that I keep here for whenever I need it.
Oh,
Even if I'm off
okay.
duty, I just ride down the hill to the shower house and take showers down there for
We take
dishes.
showers in my camper. We just don't have hot water. So, but it's still, you know, when it's real hot in the summer, the water's not freezing cold coming out of the ground.
No.
Go in and
If
it's
I
so
need
hot.
hot water,
Fine.
yeah, I just heat up hot water on the stove if need be, and you know, do what they call the old-fashioned whore bath.
Yeah.
One sink with rinse water, one sink I put squirt some shower gel in there, you know, and do that kind of a bath one day, and the next day I go to the shower house and
Yeah. Yeah.
and then
Well,
if you need
you
water
know,
for
me at
dishes,
my age now, sorry, Van Man, but I had a hysterectomy, you know, 14 years ago. And so, you know, there's not a lot. I can get away with taking a shower every other day or every couple days as long as I don't get real sweaty.
right?
And my wife had one of those too, so I know all about it.
Yeah. Once they take all your hormones away, they take most of the stinky stuff with them.
Yeah, I take everything.
I've heard that, but I ain't that far yet.
Really do.
I'm going through what they call the premenopausal
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Well, I would just now be probably starting to go through it if I wouldn't have had that hysterectomy.
Yeah. Well, so far I haven't had to have
I was like, what happens if I don't have this? And he says, well, you probably got another, you know, 15, 20 years of of going on. You know, I'm not going to go into all the details. You know what I mean, Dee.
Right.
And he says, you've got a lot of years to go through that. So this is what, you know.
Yeah.
They had to
My
do
mom didn't have a choice either. What NC?
my wife didn't have a choice either. She had cancer in her ovaries or something. So
Yeah.
Oh,
Sometimes you don't have a choice to keep it or not. Nowadays, they try not to take it any more than absolutely necessary. You know, but years back, they used to, you know, first thing, hysterectomy.
yeah.
Nowadays, it's like, you know, if you don't really, really need it, we really don't want to do it.
It is difficult, you know, going through menopause that young, because I was in my, I guess, early 40s when I had it. No, maybe I was in my late 30s, because I'm 53 now, and it's been 14 years ago, so whatever.
Yeah.
So, anyway, well, all I was saying about that is that, you know, at my age, you know, if I'm not doing anything to get real sweaty or dirty or anything, I can get away with not taking a shower, you know, every couple days, and that's better for your hair too if you don't wash it.
Yeah, I try not to wash my hair every single day because mine is so baby fine, and that's another reason I'm getting it cut because I've been like highlighting dyeing since I was 30 years old.
Mm-hmm.
and being as thin as it's really damaged it. So I went in and got it cut. She said, "Oh my God, your hair's just damaged so bad." I said, "Cut it. I'll cut it short." I still got some highlights in it, but I said, "I'm just gonna let it go natural. If I go gray, I got tons of gray hair because it started when I was younger." I said, One lady told me, she goes, "Well, welcome to the silver hair sisterhood," or something like that. I said, okay.
I'm gonna text
I guess then some
her
grandma.
and find out where the heck she's at. I want her to come and pick up her daughter. So I can do some
I figured
stuff.
since I'm a grandma 7 times going out, just let it go.
That's right. My mom did. My mom is one of the most vain people you ever met in your life. She wouldn't even go to the mailbox without full face and makeup. Just within the last 7, 8 years, she's let her hair go all gray. It's a pretty color, though. It's not. She's
Yeah.
got the right complexion. She's got a kind of a dark complexion. Not real dark, but she's got a kind of darker than I am for sure. And it looks good on her. She doesn't look bad or she doesn't look washed out. I get a lot of gray around my face, especially, and it washes me out.
Yeah.
I probably never will be one of those ladies that just let it go. Maybe I will later, but not now.
I'm surprised at my mom because her hair's always been black, and she's never really dyed it much or anything that I know of or that she's told me. But she said you don't dye her hair, do nothing to it, and she don't have very many white ones, and she's 74 already.
Yeah.
And
My mom and your mom is about the same age. My mom's 72, 71, 72.
she's got some white hairs, but nothing like you would think. Some people at 74 have.
Huh?
I have this one robin every morning. When I get up, I'll be sitting here and checking out the news and stuff. This robin comes right here in this little hill beside me, and he bounces around. He looks at me, sits there like he's begging or coming down to say good morning or something every morning. He hops
What
right
is
here
it?
by my window. A robin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a male robin. He just comes down and hops right here by the window on this little hill right here and just checking out the window, looking through the window, and it's just so cute.
I think I'm going to take you guys outside with me. I hope I'll be able to hear you because I'm going to unplug you from my speakers.
I was thinking the same thing. I might go outside here in a minute.
So you'll see scrambly stuff here for a second.
Yeah, that's what I need to do is get a little external speaker because the speakers on here are just not very good. I have to turn everything off to be able to hear videos because it's just too quiet.
I got my mic too far away.
No, I can hear you all right.
Okay.
But either that or get me a good set of headphones.
Can you see my baby?
And say, look at the puppies.
That's Polly. The big black one is Polly. She's old. The little skinny one there is old too.
Not the one laying on its back rolling around.
Now see, he just cranked he's got his little, he
Y'all
just
see my dog, didn't you?
lifted his leg up and he's so old that it's stuck there and he's all mad about it.
His joint got stuck with his leg up there.
Open the door.
Oh, she locked you out?
I was going to open it to let her in. I've got a key out here because she's done that before. Come on.
That's like my dogs. I get out of the truck and they'll get up there and they'll look out the window and lock me out of my truck.
That's not good.
I keep a spare key. Yeah, they like to lock me out of the truck.
Hey, where you live, do you have any Indian reservations around anywhere?
I think there is some around here over in North Carolina, I think.
Well, because
Cheers.
we have a few of them around, like in Topeka, like 45 minutes away or whatever. But my husband has to work up there a couple times a month, and they have cheap cigarettes on those Indian reservations because you don't have to pay taxes on them.
Yeah, they did in Wisconsin, but I think I'm a little over about an hour and 15 minutes, hour and 30 minutes from North Carolina border.
Yeah.
And I heard that they have one over there because there's a casino right up over the mountain too.
That's Cherokee.
Yeah,
Well, my
yeah.
husband will usually, every time, like I said, he'll go, I don't know, once a month usually for sure. And he'll grab like, 4 or 5 cartons while he's there because they're a lot cheaper, like $10 a carton cheaper.
I didn't
Yeah,
know that. That's a good thing to know.
yeah. So
Not that
what?
I'm not that I'm wanting anybody to smoke more or anything like that.
Hey, the three of us right here are smokers. I mean, that's something we can talk about that we got in common.
I,
Oh,
I get people fussing at me all the time because of it.
I quit for 2 years and I took Chantix, and Chantix worked great for me. And I
I've heard
would
a
take
lot of
it
people say
again.
that worked good for them.
It worked great for me. I had vivid dreams. That was the only thing that I had, but they were good dreams. I mean, they were the kind of dreams that they were in color, and I don't even remember the dreams but now, but at the time when I was having those dreams, I thought they were wonderful. They were just
The
real
good.
imaginative and vivid and color. And that was the only thing that Chantix did to me. Now I've known other people that have taken it, and it's they've kind of went
Up.
you know got patchy or whatever.
I got the prescription for it one time, but I never did go through with it.
Well, it works. Well, it worked very well for me.
I
But
started hearing
with
about
all the
it.
medications that I'm on, I can't take it right now. But I quit smoking for 2 years, and then right this last, I want to say November, I started sneaking cigarettes from my husband. I don't know. Well, the holidays were coming up and stuff, and this year it
Stress.
seemed like the holidays were tougher on me than they were even last year. Because last year it was all still just a blur, and it was just
Everything didn't quite hit.
sink in yet that he wasn't coming home. You know,
Right.
and they say that too, because I thought I was just really weird, but they say that that's kind of normal. That uh,
It takes
the
time
the
sometimes.
second year is harder because it really has sunk in. You know.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I started sneaking cigarettes from my husband, and just a couple out of his pack, and I was smoking like one cigarette, maybe two a day, whatever. And then pretty soon here I am just full-fledged smoking again, and I have been ever since like November. And I really want to quit.
I know one of the camper ladies that I worked with at this last place. She said she's quit twice.
Yeah.
And she smokes one here and there. She goes, but not as often as she used to. But yeah, she's quit twice and started right back up, no problem.
I know. It's I guess like a drug addict or something. You can quit forever, but when back at it.
Yep. Whenever I get down to half a pack and I don't have none around, I start thinking, oh God, I gotta go get some cigarettes before I run out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I go get some tobacco. Like soon, I'm gonna run out. No.
Before I started rolling my own, uh, I used to go out 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. I didn't care what time it was if I ran out.
Yep. It's like you don't want to run out, so you better go get some. Or if you're down to your last one, you say, I don't care what time it is or how far I gotta go. I gotta go find a pack of smokes.
It was crazy how it
Yep.
controls you in it.
Yep. I think I'm that way with coffee right now too. It's like if I don't have any coffee during the daytime, I'm gonna go crazy.
I drink my coffee in this big mug.
In the big mug.
Yeah,
I
Georgia,
drink
Georgia
half a pot of
Bulldog.
coffee a day. Yeah, that's what I drink. That's what my husband and I do. We drink out of those big mugs. He gets half a pot in his, and I get half a pot in mine. And I usually drink. That usually lasts me till about 10 o'clock in the morning before I finish
Yeah.
it. It's
Because I
cold.
don't care if it gets room temperature. I still, I don't chug it. I sit there and, my first cup, 2 in the morning, yeah, I drink pretty fast. After that, I just sit there and kind of sip on it. I don't care if it's room temperature. It's still good.
I've got one of them 30-cup commercial pots.
Whoa, you're serious about coffee now.
I got a big one of those big percolators. Is that what you're
Yep.
talking about?
Yeah, one of the big ones that you see in the stores that holds 30 cups.
Yep, I've got one of those too that
Or
I take camping when we have a bunch of people.
I drink half of it one day and unplug it, and then the next morning I just plug it back up, and the second day it's a little bit stronger, but it's still good coffee.
Feel good.
Yeah.
That's me. I make sure.
I
The only
can't
time I
use
use
30.
ours is when we go with a bunch of people camping, and then I drag it out, and everybody. Because when we go with a bunch of people, I've got two kids that still go camping with us sometimes. My son lives in Wichita, and my daughter lives here in town, and them and their kids and their spouses and all that stuff. And there's usually when we go, a lot of times there's quite a few people that go with us, and we
Yeah.
usually drink up that whole pot if I make it.
It's like my mom brought some rum and coke for us to have some while she was here, and we never even cracked the bottle of rum or coke.
I got a whole cabinet in my kitchen full of liquor that my kids bring over here and have a drink or two out of and leave.
We were
My
just
husband was
pooped
just
at
asking
night,
me.
you know.
My husband was just asking me about because I don't. Well, I will have a drink, but I never, drink crazy. I did that in my young days.
Yeah, I did that in my younger days.
I'm too old to get over them hangovers now. It takes
God,
me
them are a
days.
lot harder now at our age. So much harder.
I quit when I was 18 when I got my CDL because I knew I'd end up driving and get in trouble. So I
Yeah.
quit.
They're pretty serious about that nowadays, too. I think,
They don't have no tolerance for CDL drivers.
Yeah,
yeah.
but if my
You
husband
know,
loses his
stuff of it.
CDL, he loses his job because, I mean, my husband works in the oil fields, and he's not an over-the-road driver, but he has to drive their equipment from semis to their locations, so he has to have a CDL, and if he doesn't have his CDL, he'll lose his job.
Yep. And then it's hard to get your CDLs back.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
I went to
We
school.
just don't take any chances. If he's had more than one beer, we just will not drive.
Yeah, because a CDL license, even if you're in your car, if you still can't have only one beer,
That's right.
because you'll lose your license.
And my daughter has a friend that's an RN, and they told her that if she ever got a DUI, she'd lose her nursing license.
Really?
Yeah, that's what they told her.
No, I didn't know that. It's not worth it, really. If you, I mean,
It's
if you
not.
need,
Well,
No,
it's not worth it just with a regular license because my stepson got one, and he still doesn't have his license back because he has to get a vehicle that he can put a breathalyzer on.
yeah.
And
I knew a person that hadn't had their license since 1978, but he kept driving, and finally he got caught enough times drinking and driving that he actually had to sit time, and now he has to go to classes and stuff and so forth to get his license back. But he ain't had one since
they'll probably make him
1978,
put one of those.
79.
They'll probably make him put one of those blowers on his car too.
Probably.
That's what they do here in Kansas with the first one.
Yep.
I've seen those around here.
But my husband had a car that he was driving, but it was too old to put that blower thing on it. And my stepson makes plenty of money. He's just terrible with money. He makes plenty of money to buy a car and do all the stuff he needs to do, but he just wastes his money on video games and crap instead. So he rides his bicycle, and we gave my stepdaughter a car because she's pregnant, and she's done two of my natural kids. Two of them got cars and two of them didn't because two of them were doing what they were supposed to and two of them weren't. And the thing with my kids is I tell them you got to make at least a C average in school. At least that's not expecting much, but don't be bringing home F's and D's and think I'm going to give you a car. And you have to have
Nowadays they won't allow you to.
And you have to have at least a part-time job, and you have, so you can pay for your own gas and insurance.
Yeah, but nowadays, I know the school my son went to, he's 29 this year, but in his high school, if you didn't make a certain grade level, they wouldn't allow you to get your temps or anything. And you would have to wait, some kids would have to wait till they're 18 because of their grades. They weren't allowed from the school stuff, they're not allowed to go get their license till they meet a certain grade requirement.
Yeah. Where is your mom? That's what I want to know.
I couldn't get my license until I was 18 because I quit school like a dummy.
I guess they did it to help, hopefully, make the kids at least try to get better grades, passing grades, because you had to have a certain passing grade, or you wouldn't be able to get their license or take driver's ed or anything. I think it's still that way today. But I mean, when I was in school, we had driver's ed course was mandatory to take. Then they took you out road, driving on the road, test you're doing that way, and then you went and got your license. And nowadays, it's kind of voluntary to take it in school, and a lot of times they have you take driver's ed outside of classes, on your own time.
Yeah. I had a lot of bullying going on when I was in school. That's the reason I quit so young. I got tired of the bullying.
Yep. I was in a little rinky-dink town, real tiny town, so most of the roads, except for the main road, had, I think, one or two stoplights, and then the side roads were pretty much, they didn't even have a yield sign, but you knew you had to yield. And this is when they had some cars, which we didn't have newer cars, so I didn't realize about the blinker and the windshield wipers and all that being all up here. We had the older style.
Yeah.
So when I was in driver's ed and he says, make a right, and I flipped on the blinker and the wiper started going, the kids in the back started laughing. I said, I don't know how to drive these new things. So,
Is anybody in the side chat? I don't see it since I'm in.
I'm showing 4 viewers.
Huh.
Over there talking. Said she just got back from shopping for RVs.
Huh.
Yeah, I was talking to her and she was telling me about going out and doing some shopping for some RVs and stuff. And
Who's that?
Kipper.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
I do my shopping on the list because I know I'm just dreaming, so it's here.
Yeah. One of my subscribers.
Hi. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, my mommy's supposed to be here, but she's not. So sissy. Where's Mama? Mama.
Mama late.
Mom.
Yeah?
Where's Mom? Mom.
Mom, where's Mom? Hold on.
Where's Mom? And she'll point at me and she'll go, you.
You?
What? Oh.
What's that on your head?
TV. He said,
What's that on your head? You got a ponytail up there?
say yes.
Yeah.
I gotta go fix the TV real quick. She pushed some buttons and messed up the TV. Hold on a second.
That's fine. She looks a lot like my little sister did when she was around that age. The dark hair and the chocolate eyes, and reminds me a lot of my little sister. Oh, I can't get my legs comfortable. They're just aching from today.
Hi.
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 Don't push no buttons. Are you being good? You waiting for your mama? Yeah? I can see the top of your head. Good evening.
Hey guys.
What size RV are you looking to get?
A Class C.
Hey, go see Coco.
Yeah.
Go see
Yeah,
Coco.
I made the mistake and went into the Class A's. Oh my God. It
Oh
just
yeah.
blew me away.
Yeah, you go look
Coveton,
at
huh?
Class A's, you'll think a Class C is nothing.
Holy crap. It's my first time ever being in an RV. I've never even been in one.
Yeah.
Well, I take that back. I've been in the trailers, like the ones you pull behind.
Yeah.
And so this was my first time ever going into a Class C or a Class A. And the way they have those things, holy crap. It was
Mine's an
amazing.
oldie. I'll give you a quick little view. Mine's a little old 76, but I got a small kitchen area. Got your stove, sink, and everything. Then little refrigerator through the doors, a little bathroom, and then I don't have my table set up, but there's a dining area which makes into a bed.
Um,
And I'm sitting on the couch, which is the bed, and then got a bunk area with my TV and storage up there.
wow, man.
The drivable area up there.
Where'd your mom and your sister sleep?
I put the couch bed down. They both had a CPAP machine, which we had to put up by the front there, so they had room for that. And we just pretty much had walkway between here.
So
So
they both slept on the sofa bed?
yeah, they would sleep and sit on the sofa bed. We'd eat out on the picnic table and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the couch bed I got made down as far as a twin. It will actually make bigger. But I slept here and they slept there because my bunk is my storage. Since it's just me and the dogs, and
Yeah.
What size
it was
dogs
nice.
do you have?
What size? What?
Dogs do you have?
Well, they're medium sized or medium small. This one right here behind me. He is a mix between a mini Saint Bernard and a cockapoo. He's about 25 pounds.
Okay.
And then Mr. Peanut over here. Let's see if I can get him. He is a Chihuahua Yorkie.
Oh.
And then Chaos is hiding under the blanket right there. He's a Min Pin.
Oh my goodness.
My bear's a
Don't
chihuahua.
you have a ferret too?
Oh yeah, the ferret. He's up front. He found me a year ago. He found me out in my yard when I was watering flowers. He just came walking up.
You have a ferret?
A white ferret.
Oh, I love those
Is he
things.
stink or is he distinct?
No, he don't. As long as you keep his blankets washed and clean his cage and give him a bath like once a month or every 2 months, I don't have a problem with smell at all.
Huh. I had a roommate one time that had 3 ferrets. And when I moved out of her place, I left most of any fabric furniture stuff I left there because it stunk.
Well, see, I don't let him run around all the time without a cage, too. He pretty much sleeps 16 to 18 hours a day, so he's not awake very much.
Oh. Okay.
My mom and sister didn't even forgot I even had one until they heard him drinking out of his water bottle. They said, "Oh yeah, I forgot you had a ferret." So I mean, if they couldn't smell it, that they didn't know it was here.
Yeah. Well, her ferret just ran loose in the house and used a cat box.
Yeah.
And they even get in bed with you and get under your covers and bite your toes and play.
I've heard a lot of them go after your toes. Mine never does.
Yeah. Well, they were playing, but they have sharp little teeth.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes you wake up in the middle of the night because they were chewing on your toes.
Yep. When you get a Class C in that, are you gonna put something on for towing a vehicle or just a motorcycle or?
Well, I have a motorcycle, and I'm actually going to get rid of that because I'd rather have the vehicle. Right now I have a Nissan Altima, and I've heard that I can't pull that behind unless all 4 wheels are up off the ground. So I'm thinking about getting like a Jeep Wrangler or something like that, something small.
Yeah, there's some of them they say unless you take the drive shaft off,
Right.
that you can't haul it with all 4 down. Because that was my SUV. It was 15 years old. I had a Zuzu Rodeo, and I just sold it when I left Wisconsin in March because I wouldn't have been able to tow it with me because I'd have to drop the drive shaft.
Exactly.
Anywhere I go, I'd have to put it back up when I wanted to use it. I said, I ain't hassling with that.
And I think the Jeep Wranglers, I think you can tow them 4 down. I'm not sure. I could be wrong. But
I think it's Dave Displaced. I think it could be somebody else, but I'm thinking it's Dave Displaced that bought a vehicle specifically because he wanted to tow it behind his camper, and it's all-wheel drive. And yeah, same deal. He can't tow it like that because you can't tow it all-wheel drive like that.
Really?
Some of the rear-wheel drive they say you can't either. So I'm not sure. There's a website or YouTube video you can type in like best vehicles for towing behind RVs, and it'll give you a list of what the best vehicles are
Okay.
to tow, and that kind of give you a basic idea.
Little Suzuki's, like they look like little tiny Jeeps.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people towing those.
I know RV Lady has one, and then there's like 2012 Escaper. I may got her name wrong, but I think she has one of those too. So
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. She's got one of those, but I've seen several people that have those.
Yeah, or else they have the smaller cars. I think they got ones down here next to me. I think they got an Ultima, a car.
really, but and seeing that's what I have now. I have I think it's a 2010 Ultima, and I've heard that I couldn't tow it unless it was completely four wheels up. So
I'll have to look at theirs and see, but I thought it said Ultima on it. I could be wrong.
Well, there's different ones. Some of them are 4-wheel drive. Some of them are 2-wheel drive. You know, they're whatever.
right.
What you got?
Yeah, I keep thinking I want to do the Jeep just so that when I get to an area, I can undo it and get in the Jeep, and then don't have to worry about getting stuck. I can drive around and check out areas that you normally can't take a little small car. So,
Right. A Jeep will be a good idea.
exactly. So, and I've always wanted a Jeep anyway, so we'll see.
So until I actually have my own vehicle again, I pretty much try to stay where I can get back and forth to town close by or something, because I've just started doing this in April. Right
But
now I'm...
don't you
Huh?
tow a vehicle?
I'll be right back.
Don't I tow?
Yeah.
No, not right now. I'm borrowing a little pickup truck from my ex-husband.
Oh, okay, because I remember there was one video, and I loved that story. You were
Oh,
talking about the motorcycle, and I saw you were driving in a vehicle there. Okay.
Yeah, it's a Dodge Dakota pickup truck, and it's
Okay.
rear-wheel drive. So I don't even think I'll be able to tow that because it's rear-wheel drive.
Well, I think front wheel drive you can if the front tires are off. But then again, I don't know.
Yeah, I got to do more checking because I'm all new at that stuff too. But
Right.
yeah, he lives 2 hours from here, so he said I could use it for the summer while I'm here to get around in. So
Oh,
I
that's
thought
nice.
good.
Yeah. So what are you doing right now? Where are you at? I mean.
I'm in the Smoky Mountains, not far from Pigeon Forge,
Okay.
and I'm working at a campground to make my income because I'm not retired and I don't have benefits of retirement stuff. So 15 hours a week goes for my campsite. I get my campsite free if I work 15 hours.
Good deal.
Anything over the 15 hours, they're paying me $8 an hour, so that's where I make my income part.
Nice.
So there are lots and lots of campgrounds out there. Now, for single people, you should not have to work more than 20 hours a week for your spot.
Okay.
Most single people average 15 to 20 hours for your site. You got all full hookups.
And that includes electricity.
Yes, that includes the electricity. Right here I got electric, water, sewer, Wi-Fi, cable TV, free laundry, because I'm a work camper. Some places give you free laundry.
I saw your video on the quarters. I thought that was a cool idea.
That was at the other place, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then, yeah, I got all that free. And then for couples, they usually stay anywhere from 20 on up hours. Like each couple would work, each person of the couple would work, like one would work 10, the other work 10, so it'll be a combined 20 hours.
Okay.
But you want to make sure you check with them ahead of time, because I've heard stories where this one lady I know I work camped with a couple months ago, she went to a different place, was putting in 20 hours a week for her site. Now all of a sudden they want to raise it and make single people work 30 hours a week for their site,
Oh,
and couples work 40 hours a week for their site. Well, you're working full time for your site. That's crazy.
Oh yeah.
I don't care how expensive the place is or if it's in a tourist area. You should not have to work, 40 hours for a site.
No.
that doesn't even really give you, I mean, because most people that do it are either retired or semi-retired.
Yeah.
And that doesn't even give you enough time to go find another job to make a little income.
Well, it gives you no time off, that's the point of it all, anyways, having the free time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to wait till I retired. I thought maybe I wouldn't be able to do it then. So as long as I can work where I go, I can enjoy campgrounds and different towns. And when I get off work, I can go do some sightseeing on my days off, whatever. As long as I make some income, I'm doing okay. Put a little away for gas and use only what I need for necessities. And I live a lot cheaper this way.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: before you leave a campsite, I guess you know where you're going to go, and then do you call them ahead to ask them about work camping, or how does that work for you?
Yeah, there's a site that I've went to, or sometimes other people will maybe give you an idea or tell you about a place if you're interested in it. I try to find something I'm interested in. I'll send them an email because it'll say, they want somebody ASAP, or they starts in November, starts in December, whichever, and send us an email. So I send them an email or my resume, tell them I'm interested, tell them a little bit about myself, that I'm a single camper with 3 little dogs, and what the size of my camper is. Some want you to send a picture of yourself in the camper. I know this campground does because they had a little problem in the past with talking to people. It sounded good, and then when they showed up, they were like very shocked. Put it this way, they had a couple that came to work one year, and they didn't know, and they thought everything went well on the phone and in the paperwork and everything. And when they came and set up, and the couple also realized they weren't able to do the job because they were midgets, and they couldn't quite do the reaching and everything that was needed for the job. So
wrong. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. I kind of giggled too because I'm like, because she made it sound like something was really bad with these people. Like, you would not believe. Oh my gosh, you would believe what these people were like. I'm like, what? And then when she told me midgets, I'm like, God, I thought you were gonna say something worse.
Right.
But yeah, so some places might prefer a photo of you and your RV. There's some places that won't take RVs that are older than 10 years old.
Really?
I usually don't. Yeah. Lately, or since I started, I haven't really told them unless they ask me.
Okay.
If they say, okay, well, what year is yours? Because we only accept a certain age, But yeah, there are campgrounds that won't take anything older than 10 years old.
I'll be right back. The party.
And I think that maybe because maybe some of the older ones were not, the exterior's not kept up well enough to where it doesn't look good on the outside.
Well, they're trying to keep up appearances or something like that.
Right. So I always try to keep mine on the outside, like I say, looking pretty good. I want to repaint it, actually.
Right. What about fuel and stuff? I mean, like, I was looking at these Class C's and stuff, and I'm like, the price of gas here where I live is like $2.50. I know it's probably outrageous other places, but do you fill it all the way up, or do you just fill it up enough to get to your next destination and then go with that?
No, it's me. I prefer to keep my gas tank full. Like, say if something come up, or maybe they decided I didn't do something they wanted right, and they'd fire me, and I don't have a full tank of gas. I can only go so far.
That makes sense. Okay.
It's a good idea that for any reason at all, if you're going to be at campground working or staying for a while, it's always best, I think, to keep your tank full. So if you do have to head out, you might be able to get a distance that you really need to get to.
The only bad thing about that is gas will go dead after so long. So if you do that, you need to get a bottle of that Daybill.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna be sitting for like 6 months or something.
Yeah, but I try to start mine up, every other week too. I'll sit here and crank it up. That way I keep everything, kind of lubricated and stuff, and let it sit here and run a little bit. And
That's a good idea.
yeah, my dad taught me about some mechanics, so I'm not one of these dumb women. I'm pretty intelligent about some of this mechanic stuff.
I had that problem with my bus. I put some gas in it for over 6 months, and you could smell the deadness in the gas.
Yeah.
And it still burnt, but it didn't run right. It missed and everything.
Yeah, kind of like when you leave it in your lawnmower and stuff over winter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, with work camping, you definitely want to email them, let them know what you're looking for, find out what exactly they're looking for. That way you can determine whether or not it's what you would like to do.
Right.
Even though you do get something and you go there and you start working and find out, I don't like this or I don't want to do this, I want to find something else.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like you have to stay there and do this, that you're forced to stay there. I mean, it's your option. You tried it, you don't like it, just with any job. Okay, this ain't for me. I go somewhere else.
Okay.
But it's always to try to any questions as much as you can to find out if it's what you want.
Okay.
That's the good thing about having a rolling house.
Yeah.
I know I'm asking you a lot of questions, Nomad, but may I ask you this? The part with, now I've heard that, back to the gasoline thing.
Yeah.
Does your generator run off of the gas that you have in your fuel tank, or is that separate?
It depends on your vehicle that you have, your RV. Mine, I don't have a generator on mine. There was one at one time. You can see where it was and where they cut the wires. But it would depend, I think, on various RVs.
Yeah, most RVs are connected to the gas tank.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're not filling up the generator like the generator at the house has the tank on the top. It's just straight from your fuel tank to the generator. That's what you're talking about?
Yeah, most RVs have it hooked to your gas tank.
Okay.
I mean, some of them might have a switch or switch it over or something.
Okay.
From what I've
if I do get one, I'd have to have one like that.
It has a generator and it runs off the gas tank.
Okay.
But it's
mine's old and it used to have one, but if I do get one, I'll probably put a rack on the back and put it on there and just run it that way instead of rehooking everything back up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah. That's smart.
I've only got one little cubby hole to store stuff outside now, so it's I don't want to lose what little space I got out there for storage.
Yeah,
Okay.
ours doesn't have any storage either.
Yeah.
That generator's in where, maybe you would have stored something, but it's not even very big, so.
Right.
Now, what's the thing about, this confuses me. I've heard that refrigerators will run off of electric or propane. Is that true?
Yeah, some of them do.
Yeah. What it is the
Run off 12 volt too.
Yeah, the propane is best to use when you're driving. If you're going to be driving a long period of time, the propane is best to use because it keeps the refrigerator running and stuff if you have food in there. And then when you get set somewhere where you can plug in electric, then you would switch it over to electric to save on propane.
Okay. I was wondering that. Because when I think of propane, I think of heat. Like a stove or a furnace. So
yeah, it's just some way they got the refrigerators built to where they'll do either or in back there. The compressors, condensers.
That's one bad thing about that is if you have a leak somewhere, you see these RVs burning on the side of the highway sometimes.
Yeah.
You have to
Mine wasn't working, so I took it out, and they're heavy as hell. But I took it out, and I went to Walmart and got this just a little $100 Walmart refrigerator right there.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay.
It's a little bit
about
smaller.
the same size as a regular RV refrigerator, right?
Actually, it's a little bit smaller because the distance right on top of it. Let me get my finger there. There's a space right up here where the other refrigerator went all the way to the top. So I got about a coffee can size shorter.
Okay.
but it's only electric. And my brother gave me a converter box or inverter, and when I hook that up, that way, if I'm driving, I can keep it plugged in. But otherwise, it only works if you're plugged into electric because it's, what, 110?
Yeah.
And you can't run it on your battery while you're just driving down the road or something.
Okay, then I have a question for you. Since you have that inverter, do you plug it into your marine battery or do you plug it into your car battery?
Depends if you have your marine battery and car battery. Some people have the connection between them. So if you need to start with the regular battery doesn't crank, the marine battery actually gives it a boost to help crank over your RV. So they're somewhat connected.
Our batteries are connected, but that is so that when you're driving, your alternator charges up your marine battery.
Yeah, that too. That too.
Oh.
I would probably, I think my brother said to go ahead and connect it to the RV or marine battery. So that way, if I do stop, like say I stop somewhere to eat or whatever, and I got the vehicle turned off, I still can have the switch on for the refrigerator to keep running.
Okay.
So running off my backup RV battery.
Okay. Well, our little RV, the refrigerator doesn't work in it anymore either, but I use it as a cooler. I just put ice in the crisper drawers, and I took that shelf off that goes over the crisper drawers.
Yeah.
You know, the drawers that you put vegetables or whatever. That's what we call crisper drawers. And I just put ice in there, and I took that little shelf off, and we use it as a cooler.
Yeah, it'll hold ice for a long time. I did the same thing.
It's real insulated, yeah. And you know, when you park, you usually have your air conditioner on anyway, so it really does. I can feel it, you know, I have to add a little bit of ice here and there while we're camping, but not as much as like the outside coolers.
So then whenever the ice melts, you just take the drawers out and dump out the water.
Dump them out, yep. Dump them down the sink or dump them out the door.
That is smart.
I would do that before I would drive down the highway with a gas running. I mean, in my opinion.
Well, that's why I like to think with
I have a little apartment-sized refrigerator in my camper too. That actually, where your refrigerator is right there is where mine is, and that wall right there towards you is where I keep my little apartment-sized refrigerator right there.
But that's why I like the idea with my brother gave me that inverter, because that way I'm not running propane, but I'm driving and I still can turn on my refrigerator to keep my groceries and stuff cool, depending on the distance you drive. So I kind of like the inverter idea.
Yeah, I do too. I like that idea. I'm going to use it.
Especially an older RV, because you never know when you're going to hit a bump and it's going to knock something loose.
Yeah, it's got the old copper lines too, so unless right now my copper lines still look good, but about getting them replaced to more of a flexible type line or something, so with the constant movement and jiggling around, it don't crack a line in it.
My trailer I had a camper trailer. I still got it, but I was going to light that the furnace, and it had a leak, and I didn't know about it. It blowed flames in that thing. It almost took all my hair off. It was just like a flash explosion.
Oh my!
Because by the time I got back around from the outside where the tank was, where I cut it on, and got in there, and I went to light the pilot light, and it just went whoop. So I haven't trusted lines after that.
Yeah.
Especially if you're moving down the highway, you never know when you're going to wiggle something loose.
Well, they tell you, too, to make sure before you leave out, you do your inspection check around your RV.
Yeah.
And some people do, like mine here, I have the tank that's built on, but you still have to manually go up under there and shut your lines off.
Yeah.
And some people forget to do that because it's not something you normally do all the time. It's shutting off gas, So it's best to make yourself a little checklist when you do a walk around. Your steps are up, your lines are unhooked, this is shut off, that's locked up. That way you don't miss a step. and
Well,
end up going
definitely
down
good
the
to have a
road with
list.
something dragging or hanging or blowing up on you or something, you know.
Right.
I
Good
have to
idea.
make a list because I don't have good memory, so I have to have a check off list
Yep.
because I forget stuff too easy.
I think I'm definitely going to have a check off list. Be a new one. So.
Yeah, it's a good idea because myself too. I still think did I forget something? I'm going to do a second walk around just to be sure because I'm pretty new to this myself. I just got this RV last fall, last summer, and I just to me I just feel safer going around doing a check off and checking everything more than once.
Right.
What is the van part of it? Is it a Chevy or a Ford or?
It's GMC.
Okay, so basically a Chevy. Thank
Yeah.
you. And
Chevy
what,
on steroids.
how many miles per gallon do you get with it? Yeah,
uh,
that's what I'm asking because I think we get like 6.
Yeah, it's got that was that big 450 in it.
Yeah,
Uh, I was getting 8 to 9 miles to the gallon.
you
It seemed
think?
like when I was in the interstate and with the vehicles that are flying by me at 70, and being an older vehicle, it's they were meant for just taking your time going along. They weren't meant for interstates at 70 miles per hour back then.
Right.
So I take the more of the back roads, or I just drive 55, maybe 60. But when I
Yeah.
was driving interstate, I was getting a little less than if I took some back roads, a 2-lane highway instead of a 4-lane, and I was getting actually 8 to 9 miles to the gallon. More on the 9 side than I was on the 8 on the interstate.
Does your van air conditioner work?
You mean up in front in the dash?
Yeah.
That one don't seem to be putting off any air either. Just the window one is all I have right now.
Yeah. All right. So it's in Kansas, like I said, it's really hot in summers usually, and it's not fun to drive it because the air conditioner doesn't work.
Right. Unless you got the
If
windows open with the
if we
screens.
could put that generator running, we could use the air roof
Yep.
while we're driving, but we need some new gaskets for that generator to get it running. So, and another thing too is it's really loud. The whole
Yeah.
truck is really loud. You can hear it squeaking. You can hear all the wind. All that stuff. It's really loud.
Yeah. Even with the windows closed, I notice, it can be kind of noisy.
Hmm.
I have a nice radio system in here, but the front speaker doesn't work, so trying to turn it on to hear the back speaker back here, I mean, it's just too noisy. You can't really hear the music, or you got to really crank it, and then you can't hear nothing else. And
Right. Yeah, that's the only drawbacks I think. Because I think other than that, I mean, that's a big thing. If you're going to travel a lot, I wouldn't take my RV because it does terrible with gas. But I like taking it. We used to take it like to my mom's, so we could have our own room because we take our dogs to my mom's, and she's got dogs, and you put all them dogs together that aren't really used to being around each other, and it
you
was
feel
just
more comfortable when you got your own stuff with you.
it was just easier to take our own bedroom with us.
Yeah.
And I lived in my RV like yours. I lived in it for 3 months one time.
Like I say, I didn't. I'm used to having kind of smaller spaces anyhow, and I'm saving better money than what I did when I had my regular mobile home, and
Hmm.
I lived in that for 5 years, and I just couldn't get anything caught up. I was always broke, so I thought, well, I
That's what
got
I'm
this,
looking
and as
forward
long as,
to.
huh?
That's what I'm looking forward to is the saving money
Yeah.
and getting out of debt in some areas.
Yeah, and
Ridiculous.
not only saving the money, like you say, I might be here till November doing this job, but after that, I can go wherever I want to go. Some other state, some other job, and I'm not committed to the one job for 40 years. I get to experience, and I've had a lot of various type jobs, so I got a lot of different experiences. Anyhow, it's
Mm-hmm.
just the idea to be able to see different parts of the U.S. and different places and meet new people. And
Yeah. And I'm an outdoors type person. I'd rather work outdoors anyways than
yep,
inside. So I
I
couldn't have a desk job.
I
And
hate
so
filming.
where do you live right now?
Me? Where do I live?
Yeah.
In Dallas.
Oh, okay. You're about 6 hours away from me.
Where are you at?
In Kansas.
Oh, okay. It's beautiful in Kansas. I like Kansas. I've been there.
We live real close to Missouri, real close to Oklahoma. Well, an hour and a half from Oklahoma, less
Okay.
than about an hour and 15 minutes from Missouri.
Okay. I was born actually in St. Louis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then
That's,
what's that?
that's about 6 hours from us too, St. Louis is. Yeah.
I moved here with my mom in '89. I don't know, 11 or 12. But I've lived here since then. So, but I still have family up in Kansas and Missouri and Illinois. So, in fact, that's one of the places that I plan on stopping. I mean, my first stop is Colorado, and then I'm gonna head towards Kansas and Missouri and Illinois. So,
Mhm.
got a little mapped out. But I'm excited. I can't wait. I can't wait.
I may be going to Colorado next weekend to go see my grandson.
Where in Colorado?
Just right across the Kansas border, Burlington.
Okay. I lived in Colorado Springs for a while. We were stationed over there at Fort Carson. So, and then I moved back down here. I have no idea why. I moved back down to Texas. I should have never left Colorado. It's beautiful.
That's what I hear. I've never been there, but
Oh, it's gorgeous.
that's
The
going to
only
be a change for me because I'm here in the Smoky Mountains, and there's I'm not 100% sure, but I might be going to Quartzsite, Arizona for the winter. And I leave here.
I've heard about Quartzsite, Arizona. What's the big deal there?
Well, that's where what they call, like in Florida, all those snowbirds go for the summer.
Oh,
For the
okay.
winter.
Yeah,
For the
because
winter.
you got boondock there, don't you, Dee?
A lot of times you have to boondock there, and I was talked to Beth Lafata, the one I've been chatting with her since before I left Wisconsin. She says that you can get your solar and stuff done cheaper out there, and she knows somebody that helped do hers, and that she'd be able to fix me up with getting help to get my solar done. And the guy that she's working for, he has 2 grocery stores and some other store. It's got all kinds of odds and ends and tools and everything. That around December is when he starts hiring for the season. So I get done here mid-November, and if they want me to work grocery store there, I'll go ahead and go out there and work as long as I got my gas to get there and make money out there.
Yeah.
And do some boondocking.
Mm.
Well, you'll have to get a generator then, and because you'll have to have AC probably.
No,
During the
she
day,
said
anyway.
that time of year you won't need AC. It's like she said it might be like 70s during the
Oh,
winter time. That's why everybody likes to go out there for the winter. It's like, because you probably never have to hardly ever use your heater at night, and you won't need
Nice.
to use the air conditioner during the day.
huh.
And they have all these big, huge rock and gem shows out there. If you look up on a YouTube video, Quartzsite, Arizona, and you'll see like they use these drones to fly over, and you'll just see how big a massive camp area it turns out to be during that time of year. Massive, from what I've seen. But she's lived out there and knows the area well and stuff, so I'm really kind of looking forward to going and checking that out because I've never been out there and in the desert or nothing, so it'll be a interesting experience.
This is one of my favorites.
Well,
Beth?
several years ago, my husband and I were talking about moving to Texas, like El Paso or somewhere close to Mexico, but not in Mexico because I don't want to live in Mexico. My husband's from there, but I
Might
don't.
as well. We're that close. Might as well.
Well, yeah. Well, I got to looking at real estate and stuff, and there's no, it's desert, and I was like, no, I'm a Kansas girl. I got to have my trees and my grass, and
Yes, flat and boring.
I got a niece and nephew down in San Antonio that if I come to courtside, I'm going to come dip down in the southern part of the states and kind of go across and then back up because I don't really want to go over mountains in like November, December.
Oh yeah.
So I might dip down and drive over towards San Antonio, stop visit them there because I've never been in Texas before either.
Well, and the Panhandle and that part of it is more desert. San Antonio and Austin, you know, it's beautiful down there. There's a lot of people, a lot of traffic, but it's beautiful.
And there's always camp jobs in Texas, all over. Every time I go to look on there for jobs, everywhere, Texas, they're wanting the campers to come work for them. And
What website do you go to for that?
it is, it's a free site. Let me bring it up here so I can make sure I give you the right address on it.
You say that. Let me grab a pen.
Let's see. I think that might be it right there. Just gonna make sure I have the right site before I give it to you. All right, come on, computer. You're so slow.
Your mom
I'd like to go to Chit too someday.
and Adina.
It's taking just a minute to come up here.
That's fine. I know I subscribed to Work Campers or something like that, but it's not like they give you a list of places to go check out. So
Yeah, it'll take just a second because I haven't had this window open, so it's taking just a little time to pop up.
okay. The other thing about my Class C that I want to get, I've got to have a slide out. That was one of my main things because I have 2 big dogs.
Oh, I seen the picture of your doggies. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got some boys.
Yeah, they're big, so I need to. That small walkway. I need to have a big walkway. So
Yeah, I'd love a slide out too.
yours does?
But yeah, a slide out would be awesome to have. I mean, it would give me a little bit more walk space and stuff in here and that, but
Yeah.
that's kind of a future thing for me.
Right, right.
I'd like to eventually maybe get a tow, what they call a TT. It's a tow trailer and a vehicle to pull because it'd be easier, I think, if I did end up going that way in the future. That way I can unhook the trailer. It would stay there. I can still drive the vehicle to go places. And
That's what we've been
tires are not as expensive. If you need tires, they're not as expensive on tow trailers as it is like Class C's.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean the ones for this is I guess around $300 a tire.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because you gotta have the really good tires because you're hauling weight and it's your home and everything and yeah.
Well, we're doing. I'm kind of still stuck on the Class C's, but she is wanting a trailer, so we're trying to weigh the pros and cons.
Right. I mean, the pros and cons of having to drive it or haul it, or the price wise on gas. Because even if you haul with a vehicle, a tow trailer, you're still gonna be using gas because you got all that extra weight.
Exactly.
Let's see, is this one?
But now that you said something about tires, I may just be thinking about the other way.
But yeah, from what I understand, the tires for tow trailers are a lot cheaper than for an RV.
Right.
Okay, I think it's finally starting to go now.
Okay.
Low. Usually it does when you have a hangout or some kind of video up. It takes time going, but it's getting there.
Yeah, no problem.
And my computer started dragging when I was trying to send that email to Debbie.
Yeah.
I got an old computer. traded treadmill for it.
You traded a treadmill for it?
Yeah, I could never afford to buy one, and that treadmill never got used. So
Well, there you go.
Yeah, sounds like a good trade to me.
I
Yeah.
bought the treadmill at the Goodwill for $50, and this computer was worth at least $300.
Really?
Yeah.
What
So that
the
was a
hell?
pretty good trade. I'm eating. The reason I closed my camera, I don't want to eat in front of everybody.
Oh, that's fine. I'm just trying to get this website to come up here. All right, let's see. Where is your name? I was typing it in. It didn't want to pop up right away. I've had pretty good luck with this one too that I've been going to.
Okay. I figured what I'd do. I live real close to a state park, and like 10 miles, not even that. So I figured that once I got either the Class C or the trailer, that I would park it there. I don't know, maybe a month, just to kind of run through things, get used to how everything works, and make my list of things to do. Don't
Yeah,
do
learn how to dump your RV tank, how to put your water in, and clean all your systems, and yeah.
Right, right. So, and I want to get on that site that you have to see if they have work camping there at this park where I'm at. So,
Well, it's also too just because it ain't listed in this site thing. You
uh,
can always call. You can call any campground that you're interested in, even though they may not post or advertise. They may want someone to work, or maybe they think, well, hey, we got somebody that's leaving. We could use the help even before they post.
okay,
So it's always good to, even if you know the campground and you got the phone numbers, call and at least ask them.
okay, that's a good
Even
idea.
though it's not listed, they still would say, oh, hey, yeah, actually, we could use some help.
Okay,
And I can't remember what the percentage was, but they say there's more work camping jobs than there is work campers to fill these jobs or want to fill these jobs.
wow.
So the opportunity is out there. It just depends on where you want to go and where you're headed. And
Hmm.
oh, come on, computer, you silly thing.
You know, and I'm saying that about the state park that I live by, and I'm wondering if they're even open because we've had so much rain that a lot of our parks are closed for
Yeah,
camping and fishing and boating and everything, because I think there's well leave. So, but I mean, like I said, I'm not doing this
yeah,
next month. I'm going to maybe a couple of months.
right. And you guys have had a lot of rain lately down there.
Yes, we have.
That's really unusual too, ain't it? In that area.
Oh yeah, yeah. The news had said they were doing calculations. They said we've had 33.35 inches since January, which is just a couple of inches under what we would normally get for the whole year.
I lived in Austin for a little while with my uncle, and I didn't even see it rain one time the whole time I was there.
Yeah, I mean, the spring it rains, but nothing like. I mean, it was just inches of downpours. It was crazy. I didn't think it was ever going to sunshine again.
All right. Let me copy this and I'll paste it to you here on the. Do you see the side chat right there by your video? Right by the video where we're talking?
Yeah, nobody's saying
Okay.
anything.
Well, that's where I'm going to post this to you because
Okay.
where you were before you came in here, that's a different chat area, and that's sometimes depending on trolls go in there, so I don't like to put much over that way.
Okay.
It
I
won't
will.
let you post the link over there anyway.
Yeah, I won't let you post links there. But I will post this, and you can click on it and save it if you want to, or write it down, whichever. But this is where I usually find mine, and I say you can find them from any state. They're just everywhere.
Nice.
And so far, I haven't had no problems. The first one, when I emailed her, she emailed me back the very same day, and said if I wanted the job, I could have it. And that was a couple months before I even had to be here, but wasn't expecting to start it that soon. I thought if I want the job, I better do this.
Yeah.
And then I found this one while I was at the other one. I wanted some pay. If they wouldn't give me more hours than for my site, so I would have to go outside the campground to find work. And I really wanted to work in the campground and make a paycheck so I don't have to keep going outside the campground, defeating my purpose of enjoying, the nature and being in the campsite. So I found this.
I like that, working so many hours and then over it, you actually still get some cash. That's great.
Yeah, you have to look for them, but they are out there. Most people want some that maybe just, hey, you get the site free, work so many hours, and that's all they give you. If you got the income for that, like people that are retired and get retirement checks, yeah, that's great. But for some people that don't have any other source of income, there's some places that say, well, we'll give you a free RV spot if you come clean hotel rooms or lodge rooms. It's not necessarily the campground, but they're still offering you some work. There's just so many varieties.
You're still going to have to feed yourself and whatnot. So, I mean,
yeah, and put money away for gas and repairs if you need them in the future. And one I was thinking about, it's factory type work, but I've heard other people do it, and within a season, I guess you can make like pretty good money. Is Amazon work campers?
I've heard that.
Yeah, there's several different places. I think at least 4 of them. But I don't want to do like Indiana or something like that in the wintertime, wherever that one is up north.
I've heard something like if you work for Amazon and then through their busiest season, when it's done, they'll actually give you a bonus or something too.
Yeah, I was doing some research on that, and I guess it's $1 for every hour you work. So if you say you work that season and you work 500 hours, you're going to get a bonus of $500 at the end of the season.
That's nice change.
Yeah, and they pay, you work 4 10-hour shifts. Occasionally they ask you for a 5th day, so you'd be making like 50 hours in 5 days. They do pay time and a half and over 40. They pay like $10.75 an hour and more if you're on night shift. So if you work the 10-hour night shift, you get paid a certain amount more. They didn't really say what. Season usually runs from August to December, like to Christmas time. You can come late as like I think October, November, but the main beginning of the season starts around August, September.
And what are they basically doing?
They're filling orders for Christmas. So, when Christmas gets real busy, people start ordering stuff and gifts, and you're either...
It's an Amazon distribution center then that you're working at?
Distribution
like
center.
A warehouse?
Yeah.
Okay.
Product comes in, they have some people scan it. Yeah, the product will come in, some people scan it to have it go to where it needs to go. Other people take the product, scan. You're usually a scan gun quite a bit. And you scan it for wherever position you're putting it. Then there's people, pickers, that pick these items to be shipped. And then there's shippers that put them in boxes to be shipped. And, it's that type of a work.
Yeah.
So you're on your feet and stooping and standing and walking a lot. And he said in one area you could walk up to 5 miles a day just around the warehouse picking orders.
Yeah.
And they pay for your campsite?
They pay for your campsite. You don't have to pay nothing.
Wow.
They buy out like campgrounds in the area for the season, and that way you can camp there and you work for them. They pay you every hour you work. You pay nothing for your campsite. You don't have to pay taxes or anything on your campsite.
That's a good deal. Don't go to the one in Kansas though, because your water will freeze up all winter. We have an Amazon distribution center in Independence, Kansas.
Okay.
I think there's one in Kansas and one in Indiana or something like that. That's during the wintertime. My RV's not well enough for winter yet.
I've been watching Follow the Hearts. Have y'all watched them? They worked up in Kansas last year. They had a lot of trouble with freezing, and it was really hard.
They got one here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, or Is it Murfreesboro? Yeah, it's just south of Nashville. They have one here, and I think there's one in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Are the two main ones. The one in Texas, I guess. The one further south is the one that always gets filled up first.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure. I mean, all the campgrounds around us turn the water off in the wintertime because it's just going to freeze up anyway.
Yeah.
Well,
I
there's no way around that.
but people tell me you can boondock at the campgrounds. The state, the city, that not the city core, the Sutton Core campgrounds. You can boondock there for free in the
So-
wintertime.
But there's no way around having any. I mean, freezing. I mean, it's just going to freeze regardless. There's no way to keep that from happening.
My brother lives in his fifth wheel a lot because he just takes it with him as his own hotel because he travels a lot. He's got a house, but he lives in that RV most of the time. But he's got what he calls a 4-season, where it's built for all 4 seasons. It's got extra insulation and all that stuff, and it's also got heating in the underbelly, and you know, of course, you have to run heat tape, you know, from your water source. You know, he hasn't had his water freeze up yet, and he's been in wintered all winter just about in Billings, Montana, and he took pictures. They had snow like coming up as high as their door where it drifted and stuff, you know. But
There are a lot of campers that do winter camping. Yeah, there's a lot of them out there that do winter camping, and from what I understand, like you say, they got the hose that comes from the spigot to the camper is wrapped up like heat tape, and then have insulation wrapped around it. The pipe going into the ground, they wrap insulation and heat tape, and you know, the electric tape or something around it.
Okay.
You have to do that with normal mobile homes too.
Right.
You know.
Right.
But yeah, and then his tanks are heated too, so his tanks don't freeze up. But you know, I wouldn't try it because even though we winterize our campers every year, there's almost every year when we go ahead and run water, there's a small leak somewhere, or you know, where something we evidently didn't get all the water out or what. I wouldn't try it.
All right.
Fine.
I've lived in a mobile home before, but the skirting on the bottom of it kept it from freezing. So I was wondering if maybe you could do the same thing on the RV.
Yeah.
You could, and people put bales of hay under that too sometimes for insulation. But I mean, here in Kansas, we can get, you know, 0 for days at a time, and that's going to give you a hard freeze, and you know, that's not going to help without heat tape and all this heat, you know, electronic heat stuff. It's not.
Right.
See, I'm from Wisconsin, so we have, like on your mobile homes, you put up like a skirting and stuff to keep the wind and cold drafts from going underneath.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen some pictures and that of RVers that have were out in the winter, and it tips how to survive a winter in your RV. And I mean, there's a lot of information out there. I just really hadn't looked up on any because I was trying to get away from the snow for a while. I'm tired of the winters up there. In
my RV, I wouldn't spend it in the wintertime in Kansas. That's for sure.
Yep.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, I got such a good deal.
I do my camping as a hotel, though, when we have a lot of company. My husband's got it hooked up to a 220. He ran a line out there from his circuit box, whatever you call it, and hooked up a 220, so you can run air conditioning, heating, whatever you want to out there, just like a campsite. And we have heated it and put guests out there in the wintertime, and I have antifreeze in the black tank, so they can pee out there
without freezing up.
But no water.
Oh, okay. So it's hooked up to the house?
It's actually hooked up to the garage. We've got a detached garage.
Oh, okay.
So it's hooked up to the garage circuit box out there.
Because I had thought about whenever I get the RV to park it in my driveway, to, you know, move into it, but I was wondering if, I guess I wouldn't have electricity to it because I don't think I could hook it up to the house.
Lights and you know, like your computer or whatever like that with house electricity. But if you're going to run your air conditioner or space heaters or something like that, then
You
you got
want
to
more
have
power.
more power.
It would just be just for lights, so like, you know, to move it in and get stuff organized.
You can run
Yeah,
that.
still plug it in then that way, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because this one here, when it was sitting in my yard and my nieces came and visit and stuff, I just pulled the plug out and you can get an adapter that goes from that prong to a regular plug-in. It's one of those little adapters you put on there and you can plug it into a regular outlet or something like that and still have, you know, lights and stuff. It's not strong enough to, like you say, run air conditioners or, you know, heavier duty stuff like that. But
So you have your plug from the RV, and then you have to get an adapter to plug into that to plug into the house.
Yeah, you can buy those
yeah,
at Walmart.
it goes down because this is like a 3-prong plug on this, but it's bigger than what a house 3-prong plug is. So
Right.
you buy an adapter that goes down to a regular plug-in.
Oh, got you. Okay.
Yeah.
When you buy your drop
30
cord,
amp to 110.
when you buy your drop cord, make sure it's a heavy gauge. That's all.
Heavy gauge outdoor drop cord. Yeah.
You have to do to keep charging your marine battery. You can run your what is it, AC light? What's that called when it's battery? Most camp, you know, those little clicky lights on the top. Those are you can run those off your battery.
DC.
Okay. Okay. And, well, I'll tell you this, when I have it in the driveway and I'm hooking it up, I'll have y'all on. Y'all just walk me through it.
Well,
Yeah, yeah, that'll work.
if you can do it, is buy an adapter for your plug, for your RV plug, which is going to change it from a 30 or the 3-prong to a regular house prong is what that adapter is going to do. Plug it in. You've got lights. You can run your power. You can run a small refrigerator.
And you plug it straight into an extension cord.
On an extension cord. But you don't want to try to run a space heater or your
Conditioner.
because it may run it for a while, but it gets too hot and it's really risky to do.
Yeah,
it.
your cord will get too hot.
Yeah.
Okay. I got you.
But yeah, just get you a good outdoor heavy duty extension cord. If your cord doesn't reach, if you have an outside socket outside and the cord reaches, that's fine. But if you don't, then you get a heavy duty outdoor extension cord to plug it into. And you may end up having 30 amp in your camper. You may end up having 50 amp. Some have either or. Mine has 30 amp. So I just tell them, you know, I need an adapter to go from a 30 amp RV to a regular plug-in, and they'll know exactly what you need.
And I can get that at Walmart, you said?
I got that little adapter at Walmart because I lost mine once.
Okay.
Or maybe I told I don't know.
Well, like I said, it may come down to, hey, I've got this and I've got this. What do I do?
Yeah. You can always send me a message, you know, if you got a question, and I'll try to answer it. Or if I can't, I'll send you some videos that can help answer it. And
to remember your plug that you're trying, that comes from your camper, just take a piece of paper and set it on a table or whatever and draw that pattern from the plug around it. And then you've got it, you know, so when you go looking at adapters, you know what you're looking for.
Or take a picture with your cell phone.
Yeah, there you go. That's smarter. That's even better.
Take a picture, you got it. They say a picture's worth 1,000 words. If you take a picture and you go in, this is what I got.
That's true.
I actually have done that. Put it down and draw a pattern around. You know, like when you're a kid, you draw your hand and make a turkey out of it or whatever. So, but draw that little plug.
Yeah.
I think they'd laugh at me if I came in with a piece of paper and say, "This is what I have."
If they laughed at me, they laughed later. Not to
Well,
me.
you must not have a cell phone to take a picture.
Right.
No, I still don't utilize my cell phone. Like, I hardly ever get on the internet with it. I use it as a hotspot sometimes because my internet's so stupid. But
Mine don't take very good pictures. Just old
I
flip
pretty much
phone.
just text and call with it, and it can do all kinds of other stuff. I just don't think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was forgetting about that too when I was talking to RV Wayne about my LP tank. Because I've got the old copper lines and that, but I want to put the adapter onto my LP tank. So if it runs out or gets low, I can actually hook up a regular, outside LP tank that you can take off and you fill up and bring back. And he goes, well, get me a picture of it. And I said, okay. And I said, all right, take my little video or something. And I got thinking, oh yeah, that's right, you can take a picture with cell phones.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'll get all excited and stuff, but yet you'll feel overwhelmed because moving stuff from a home into an RV is a lot different.
Don't even get me started. I've already had mental breakdowns from that. Like,
yeah, it's like, oh, what do I keep? What do I take? I like this. I want to keep that. And it's like, you can't take it all. So
Just imagine somebody that was a hoarder.
Oh no. Oh no.
I'm a hoarder with arts and crafts stuff. I've got to go through this. I did that all last week. I went through one room in my house that is an office craft junk room. That I spent a whole week last week cleaning that out. I threw a whole bunch of stuff away. I'm going to give a bunch of stuff away, but I've still got a whole basement full too now.
Oh no.
But I used to do everything, and I just pretty much just paint now, so I need to get rid of all that other crap.
The room that's frustrating me is not even a room, it's the garage, which I'm in right now. Because I was a mechanic, and I ride the bike, and I do this, so I've got a bunch of tools that I know that I'm not going to need, and then I go, wait a minute, what if I do need it, so the garage is stressing me out more than the actual house part.
Yeah, it's hard to give up your tools.
Yeah.
Because tools are important. I mean, I almost thought, well, okay, I know I need to do some repair on this on the inside. Did I take my little hand skill saw, or do I need the little jigsaw, or, I could do this, or I could use that, but where am I going to put it?
Exactly.
And the only good thing with where I'm at right now is they have a little shop, and I've already talked to the boss guy, and he said that, yeah, there's some tools out there. If I need to use them to do something, I can go over to the shop and do it. But, I mean, I used to do all my own fixes and do my own repairs and remodeling in my mobile and stuff. So it's like I feel lost without my tools.
I'm the same way. The same way. Because I know I'll get somewhere and go, man, I knew I should have brought such and such.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could give up my tools. I might have to give up RV life.
Yeah. And instead of towing a car, you're going to have to tow a little trailer with nothing but tools in it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love my tools. I even got a lot of my papa's tools after he passed away.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't get rid of them for nothing.
That would be hard.
Yeah. And like my one video I did having to make tarp poles because I didn't have any or couldn't find any at the time or had to order them online. It's like, okay, I got to use with what I got, what materials I got, what tools I got, try to make these. Make a little canopy over my air conditioner so when it rains, it don't rain inside on the walls. So just whatever I had to create something up, and so far, so good.
Yeah. I've had one garage sale, and to be honest with you, I didn't put half the stuff out there that I should have because I'm like, oh, I don't want to sell it, but I'm just going to get over it,
Yeah.
So, it'll happen one of these days.
And see, they asked me to come down here 2 weeks sooner than what they did to begin with. So everything of mine moved up 2 weeks sooner. And here I started panicking more, so I finally told work. I gave them like a month and a half notice. But after about 3 weeks, I said, you've already known I'm going to be moving. I got to get this mobile sold. I got to get this old SUV sold. I've got to get my stuff packed. I got to get the camper packed, and I got so much, I'm going crazy. I got to stop working because I'm stressed.
Right.
And I was working part-time hours, but 6 days a week. You know, that's what's crazy. You work 20 hours, but you're working 6 straight days. And in the middle of the day, it screws everything up. And it's like, I just can't do it. I just have to cut off the work and just concentrate.
Mm-hmm. Well,
That's what I do.
I can't wait to get out the job that I'm in, so I'm excited.
Yep.
What do you do, Sandra?
I'm actually a police officer for Dallas County.
Really?
Cool.
Well, it was.
Kind of cool. Depending on all that stuff you got to deal with.
I can understand why you're wanting out of that job.
Thank you. Thank you.
As
Yeah,
a
I'm over it.
you have to have like if you wanted to go to another state, do you have to be certified or something like that to work in a different state than you work?
Some states are different. Some of them just require you just to take their state level test, and then some require you to go through the police academy all over again. So I was actually thinking about moving to California. I was crazy in the head at the time, and the sheriff's county's office was just saying, just come take the test, and then they would move me along. But there's other states that say you got to go through the police academy, and I'm not about to do that again. So,
Yeah.
but
Well, with your with your officer experience, you could also do some security work.
right now, you gotta remember too with security stuff that you also have some states, like here in Texas, you still have to have a license to be a security officer, even if it's a no carry unarmed security officer. So, you know, it just depends.
There's them oil fields, Jay and something company that hires people, RVers, to do gate security for the oil fields.
Oh, really?
And they will, yeah, I'll look that one up for you too and send that to you in case you're
I'm
interested.
curious about that one because my husband works in the oil fields.
Yeah, and what it is, I guess they provide you with a generator because you're sit right at the front gates with your RV. It's your home and your office. And you're basically checking everybody in and out with the paperwork that they're authorized to come through there, and they have the correct paperwork and everything. And from what I understand, they pay really well.
Really?
Yes, very well, from what I understand. I can't remember exactly how much, but they said something about you can make $250 to $350 in a day.
Dang.
Yes.
Similarly.
Yeah.
And
they provide you with a generator. I guess it's kind of like boondocking. They provide you with a septic, for your septic tank or RV thing and water and stuff. So I've kind of considered writing them. And then if you don't have a certain level security certificate, they train you, or you go through classes. They'll train you and go through classes with them for a small fee, but they didn't say how much the fee was.
Right.
That kind of money, I mean, it would be worth taking the class and getting the certification just to make $250 a day.
Yeah.
I have another officer that I work with, and he actually does the security classes on the side, and for armed security officers. And he says it's about $400 just for the class, so which isn't bad if you're making $250, $300 a day.
Yeah.
It's looking up real quick. So
We have a large Hispanic population here where we live, and they're always having dances and all that stuff. If you baptize your kids, you got to have a dance. If you fart, you got to have, Yeah. We hire our local cops as security guards for their because most of the halls won't rent them to them if they don't have security.
that's the same as here too. Yep. Yep. So.
But that oil company thing is in that RV working thing that I sent you.
Okay.
That's where I saw it in. So you get looking through there, and you probably come up across it like I did.
Wow. Okay.
They don't tell you a whole lot in there, but then I went to a website that they had listed and was doing a little reading on that to find out the information.
If you don't mind asking, Sandra, what department do you work in?
Like police department?
Yeah. Are you on the beat? Are you a detective?
Yes. Cruiser. Just drive around. Yeah.
Okay.
giving people tickets and taking them to jail and harassing small children.
I bet you've seen a lot of stuff,
Yeah,
especially in a big city like that.
A lot of stress too, I bet.
it is very stressful, yes. But, you know, and it's worth it some days. It's worth it some days. I can tell you this, it's always different.
Yeah.
You know, every day is something different. And, you know, I get a lot of laughs out of it. I remember I pulled over this one couple on a Sunday morning, and the gentleman was driving and his wife was in the next seat, and they had a son in the back seat. And when I pulled him over, you could see the wife just bitching, just blah, blah, blah. I mean, you could tell that he was getting an earful from his wife. So I gone up there, you know, and I think he was
Not to be driving that fast, you bastard.
exactly. He was, you know, I told you we were going to get pulled over, but I think they were doing like 12 miles over, which is usually what I'll pull over for. 12 miles and over, I'll pull you over. If anything underneath, I just, you know, wish you luck, you know.
Yeah.
So I get up there and, you know, I explained to him what the speed limit was, why I pulled him over, who I was, blah, blah, blah. And he was kind of like, he was upset, you know, but he wasn't directing it at me. So I felt so bad for him. I mean, everything was fine. His license, registration, everything ran out fine. So I said, you know what? He's getting enough from his wife that I'm not even going to bother him. I just said, have a nice day, slow down, you know, get to church in one piece. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's things like that that just, you know, it cracks me up. So.
I've only gotten 2 speeding tickets in my whole life, and one of them was about 20 years ago in Wichita. And I was just trying to pass somebody. I wasn't, you know. But anyway, when I got pulled over, I deserved it. I knew I was driving faster than. I didn't try to argue with him or anything. And then another time, I was coming from Howard, Kansas, and I had my husband on the phone, and he was being an asshole to me. And I was driving to come and see him, and I was so mad at him that I flipped a U-turn right there in the middle of the highway and sped my butt back to my house in Howard, and I got a ticket then. And I told the cop, I said, I was just mad at my husband. I didn't realize how fast I was going.
Yeah. You know, I'm not a hardcore. I have a very soft heart. So when people tell me these stories, and some of them, they can be pulling them out their ass, you know, excuse my language.
You can kind of get to know that.
I'm like, you know what? You were having a hard enough day. Just go on. So I've become too soft for the job, I really think.
You know, I mean, I taught my kids to take responsibility for whatever they did. If they made bad grades in school, that's your fault. Take responsibility for it. You know, if I had 2 boys that got in trouble with the law, that's your damn fault. You know, you got to take responsibility. It's not some. One time, my son that died, you don't know me, so you don't know this, but my son was murdered 2 years ago.
I'm sorry to hear that.
This boy had been in some trouble from the time he was 15 years old. Him and 4 other boys went out and broke into all these cars in this trailer park. And that all the moms were calling each other and blaming each other. Well, if my kid wouldn't have been with your kid, da-da-da. No, my kid did it on his own.
Yep.
Your kid did it on his own. At any point, they could have got out of that car and not went and done it. You know, don't be blaming each other, because all the boys were in it together.
Right.
You know, so when I got my speeding tickets, and like I said, I've only had 2, I knew they were my fault. I wasn't going to try to fight with the officer. He had me clocked.
Right. You know, it's the ones that I pull over that suck their teeth at me. You know, if you're gonna have an attitude, if you're gonna pull that card, then we're gonna have you. But you know, 9 times out of 10, I listen to the story. I, you know, take in a bunch of other aspects of it, and either I let them go or I give them a warning or whatever. But you know, it's the ones that suck their teeth and roll their eyes at me. That's when that sends me over. So
Yeah.
So, but you know, I'm ready to move on. It was fun while it lasted. So, trying something different.
And that's like me. I like every day a little bit different. I always have. And even though I'm at a campground and, you know, I'm not home and stuff, even though I have to work, I'm still enjoying it because I'm doing what I enjoy,
Mm-hmm.
and I can go down to the creek if I want, put an inner tube in and kick back and float down the little river, or I can go for a ride up in the Smokies, or, just anything. Even though I'm working, I'm still enjoying having to work, but enjoying the area that I am working in.
I look forward to that.
Yeah, and every day can be different. It doesn't have to be the same every day.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that because I said that Pigeon Forge was an area I wanted to go, and you were like, "Bring some money." I was like, "Oh man."
If you go over into Pigeon Forge, where all the rides and all that stuff is, for the Dollywoods,
Yeah, Dollywood's out there.
I mean, yeah, if you're going to be doing all that stuff, you want to bring some money for that. But if you're
Right.
going to want to ride around the mountains, see the sights, there are some things that are inexpensive to do. Some places to eat that are not, very expensive, but they're good places to eat.
Mm-hmm.
There's places like that too. It's like when my mom and sister were here, we went over to Gatlinburg and ate breakfast at this pancake pantry was recommended to me. It was like $7 or $8 a plate for what we ordered, which isn't bad in a tourist town.
Yeah.
Then there was a little village right behind there, so we walked around in there and we each bought a little trinkets and spices, whatever. I think I spent $30 in this little village, and that was really the most we spent all day. The rest of the day we came driving back around another route through the mountains, just stopping, taking pictures, seeing the sights, and that was more enjoyable than hanging out in Gatlinburg.
Right.
There's so many people up there. You want to park and take the trolley if you have to, because the roads are unbelievable. And it made me enjoy so much better being out here in the campground and going into town like that, and that Gatlinburg or Pigeon Forge, and that traffic and the hustle of all those people. It's like, I'm so happy I get to come back to this.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm so looking forward to all that. I'm
But
ready.
it all just depends on what you really want to do when you come out here. I don't know who's been down the little river right here by the campground. It goes right underneath the bridge at the entrance of the campground. A lot of them places is like $10 or $12 to do it all day long. You get in, you can ride down, and when you get out, next bus that comes up, you can grab that one and go down again. $10 for the whole day. I mean, how much enjoyment can you have out of that? Just kick back in nature and float on down the river and.
Right. And I'm very easily entertained. It does not take much for me to be entertained.
Well, that's me too. Ask NC Bandman. He was watching my hangout. Was it last week before my mom come? There was nobody in here. I'm sitting here talking to myself and making goofy faces and putting on little hats off the thing. And he pops in and he goes, "You're having too much fun by yourself. I had to come in and chat with you."
Right.
It don't take much to keep me entertained.
That's a
Do
great.
you have any kids?
What's that?
Do you have any kids?
Good Lord, no. I
That's
found
nothing and a curse.
no. And I don't mean it. I have a niece and a nephew that I adore. I love them as if they were my own. But I learned. I'm 36 right now, and I learned, I guess, years and years ago, I'm too selfish. I like my time. I like to do things my way, and I like my freedom too much. And I know that having children, it goes to them, which rightly so.
And until they're grown up.
Exactly. I was raised in a time that, you took responsibility. You raised your kids. They came first. You know what I mean? And I didn't want that responsibility, so I have 2 dogs, and that's it.
And they're as bad as having kids.
A lot of people are so selfish, they'll still have kids anyway, and their kids raise themselves.
Yeah, see, and I'm not like that. And with the dogs, I get tired of them. I can just throw them out in the backyard and not worry about them. But, you can't do that with kids. So, no, I don't have any. I have a girlfriend I've been with for over 6.5 years. So, actually, she's in California right now helping her sister. Her sister's got some health issues, so she'll be back down later on. But, yeah, when she gets back, that's when we're really going to get this train going about getting rid of everything and starting this RV thing. So
So she's on board with that too. Then she's
Oh, definitely, definitely.
I say you won't regret it. I mean, I was worried and scared to death because, like I say, I grew up kind of in a lower income bracket. And I thought, am I going to be able to do this? But I got thinking, oh, shoot, I've lived with less money before, so
Right.
I can do this. I've pinched pennies before. I can do this, and I don't regret a minute of doing it.
And
my
see,
mom,
that's what I look at. That I see people that they don't have thousands and thousands to their names. I don't. The only little
what
thing.
some spend on the road when they do this, they end up. You look at what they buy in all the time. Stuff like, why are you buying all this stuff? You're living in your RV. Do you need to have that?
Exactly.
the only thing that would keep me from doing something like that, Dee, is my kids and my grandkids. I'm
Right.
so attached to them, and they're so attached to me.
Right.
There's nothing holding us here in Kansas, my husband and I. Our kids are all grown now. Well, we've got one that's still 17, but she's got her own life and doesn't spend a whole lot of time with us anymore. She lives with her mom here in town, and she's got a job. She's the one that's pregnant. So now we got another grandbaby coming August 1st, and
The thing about it too with grandbabies, you can travel and see depending on where they live. You can always travel back to
uh-oh,
them
are you
anytime.
there?
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, my internet. I'm outside. It's worse outside even. I'm going back in.
But
We
yeah,
still
with your
hear
grandkids, you can travel anywhere to see your grandkids at any time. When you're RVing.
It's just not the same when you're used. I mean, we live in a small town, and it's not the same. I'm used to having them anytime I want, or their moms can call me anytime and say, "Hey, can you keep the kids today?" And
Yeah. I used to be like that, but the two oldest are 12. Well, he just turned 12, and she's turning 7 in November. And I've been around them since they were babies. And I just told them, I said, well, Nana's going to take my RV because they went camping with me in it last year. I said, I'm going to be taking the RV. I'm going to be living in a campground. I'm working for them, doing what's, cleaning and stuff. And I'm going to live there. And I said, so I get to live in the campground. And I going to send them, like postcards. I try to call them at least every month. Because some weekends are with their mom, some weekends with their dad, so I kind of get that screwed up sometimes. And I finally told my kids, they're all 30, reaching 30 and stuff. I said, I've done what I could for you guys. I've tried to help you. This is something I want to do. You guys are on your own. You always know where I'm at, can contact me and stuff. But I need to live for me now. It's my life now. You guys are grown.
so when your kids get older, they'll help you too, because I know my kids have really stepped up. When I got sick, I mean, they took me to doctor's appointments. They missed work when I was in ICU. They've given us money even, just because they know I can't work.
Yeah. And my mom's tickled about this because she said ever since she was graduating, she come from a family of 16 kids. Brothers.
Wow.
And she said when I graduated from high school, she goes, that's all I thought about doing is being able to travel and work and travel at the same time. So when I told her I was going to do this, I was kind of leery about what my family's going to think because I've always been the black sheep and not stayed at the same homestead that my grandparents grew up in, and I'm one that's always kind of going off and doing my own thing.
Yeah.
So
My mom said, great. She goes, if you can make it work and go for it, she goes, do it. She goes, I've always wanted to, and I regret never doing it. So I don't want to have no regrets. I want to just enjoy life.
you're brave.
Yeah, well, I have a little protection if I do need it.
You
I'm
and
not
RV
stupid.
Devs, you and RV Devs are my inspiration.
Yeah.
Well, if anything ever happened to my husband, I wouldn't be able to afford to live in this house by
Right.
myself. And I don't want a roommate. Even my own daughters I don't get along with if we live together too long now that they're out on their own.
I tried a roommate thing. I had a 2-bedroom mobile home, so this lady needed a place to live. So me and her discussed, and I let her come live with me. And help make payments, you know, pay utilities and all that. We split everything. But like I said, I'm the type of person, I enjoy people and life and stuff, but this woman was really odd. I mean, she was quite strange. And I don't know if I would, you know, unless I've known the person for a period of time, long period of time, got to know them, it would be different. But I don't think I really enjoyed doing that again.
Mhm.
It's
Now,
just really strange.
I've had roommates that were my best friends, and you'd think, you know, oh, they're going to get along great, but you know, all women live differently, and all women have different standards, you know. And I'm
Yeah.
more of a, well, I used to be more than I am now, a clean freak, you know. And it seemed like every roommate I ever had was just a pig from hell, you know, and that just doesn't work with me. And
Yeah.
you know, if you're going to eat in the living room, fine, I do too. But when I get finished, I pick my dishes
Pick
up
it
and
up.
go, you know. But
Yeah.
everybody thinks the same way, and that really causes problems.
Yeah. But I'm just so used to living by myself for so long that having a roommate was, like I say, it was different for me. Now, she had been doing it all her life. You know, that's how she lived. She'd travel around and she'd rent rooms, and that's how she lived. But for me, it was a new experience, and you know, I've never really had a roommate before, and it really was hard for me to get adjusted to.
Yeah.
So,
Somebody's being nosy. Look.
he's like, "What's going on? What's their names?"
This one's Maddie. Oh my God! Get off of me.
I've seen some of those pictures. They think they can take up any spot they want to lay down.
This one thinks she is a Chihuahua. No kidding. And we started that laying in the recliner thing when she was a puppy. And I told Alex, I said, you know, that's not going to be real funny when she's 85 pounds. And here she is, thinking she could still crawl up here. So.
They can have the best nature, I tell you. I knew my ex-husband had a Rottweiler when I met him.
Mm-hmm.
And that dog just didn't take to anybody. But I've always been an animal person. I don't know if the dog knew that or what, but that dog took to me just instantly.
They did. Now, Maddie was bred from a breeder out of Missouri that he had, I guess, Maddie's aunt was a championship out of Mexico City, and her dad's a championship from Germany. But what the breeder saw was that they were really good with kids, the mom and dad. So he wanted to breed, you know, like some people breed like a certain coat or a certain color for the dog out of the gene. So they kind of pick that and make it come out a little bit stronger. So Maddie's really good with kids. Like that was one of the things that he's really bred real strong with them.
I think we lost your volume. You went almost mute.
Yeah, your mic is real muffled, and it sounds like you're talking in a
You might have
tunnel.
your finger. Yeah, you might have your finger over your microphone.
Is that better?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay. I may have been pushing. I'm sorry. So, but anyways, Maddie was bred to be a little bit gentler around kids, so she can be roughhousing and then turn it off and then be gentle with a kid. So
That's
he's
cool.
a brat. So
Here's my
the
baby.
other one, I don't even.
She used
got
to
attitude.
grandkids rider and everything else.
Look,
She's dead now, so she doesn't like it, but she doesn't try to bite them or anything. She just gets away from them.
what kind of dog is that?
She's a lab.
Oh,
What kind of dog is NC's
it's a Chihuahua mix with red bone something.
Oh my
I would say
goodness.
that's a big Chihuahua if that was just Chihuahua.
It's big, but
Oh my.
I'm just like a Chihuahua. I shake like a leaf and bark, and anybody touches me, she'll try to bark at them.
I gonna say she looks so loving. She's like, oh, I get to sit up here. How sweet.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, it's a he, but I don't know why I said she. But he loves
Well,
It's so sweet.
He sleeps with me and everything. So he's married to me. Thanks.
Yep. Yep. He picked you.
Yep. Yep. All right.
Yeah,
Can you
That's-
my sister had him as a pup, and she couldn't take having 2 or 3 dogs. And she couldn't get it to potty train. because she had the other
Yeah.
dog, and you put two male dogs in the same house and expect them not to mark their spot.
Right.
So
That's
when I
mine. They
got
pretty
him,
much kicked me
he don't
out.
do it when I got him. But if anybody brings their dog over, he'll start doing it. Look there.
'Cause
Oh,
the little,
See the doggy?
yeah, just sitting up there all
I
proud.
don't know if you can see it or not, but she only has one eye.
Are you serious?
Doggy bear?
Yeah.
Oh, poor
Yeah.
baby.
The dog.
What
Oh,
happened?
good.
She's supposed to be a teacup chihuahua, but she weighs 10 pounds.
Like
One
a
of those
milk,
large teacups.
she's a milk jug chihuahua.
There you go.
I can't get her all on camera. She's so fat.
Yeah, one of those giant teacups.
This
What
dog
happened?
follows me around without a leash, or I go to my van and he'll jump right up in the van and sit in the passenger seat.
Oh my goodness. What happened to her eye?
We used to have my daughter's in the military. She's in the Army, and she was going to be deployed, and she had a corgi. And she wanted me to take care of her corgi while she was deployed. Well, that corgi was mean to that one. She didn't like her at all.
Oh.
And I mean, she never really did anything bad to her, but she'd snip at her if she'd come close or whatever. Anyway, one time the dogs were all outside, and we had terrible flies that year. So the dogs were trying to get in this doghouse to get away from the flies, and they got in that little tiny space, and that corgi bit her eye out.
Oh, they got
Man.
Awful. It was just like a horror movie. This eyeballs hanging from her, it was awful. It was awful.
Oh my
We rushed her to the vet, and here's something kind of funny. The vet was closed. There was no number on the door for emergencies.
Oh
I
no.
called 911.
Do
And
what you
I told the lady on 911 what was going on, and she called the vet, and the vet was there within like 5-10 minutes, and he just kept her overnight, and he said that he couldn't save her eye because he said sometimes you can, but he said the nerve was cut, so he couldn't save her eye, so he just took it out and sewed her eyeball shut.
Wow.
She's lived like that now for about, I think it's almost 4 years since that happened.
She's used to it.
Yeah, and she was pretty young. She's only 6 now, so she was pretty young when that happened.
It's amazing how some dogs and cats can recover from an injury so fast and live with it like they've never had a problem before.
Mhm.
I've seen some animals with some pretty odd injuries like that, and it's like they go about their day just as if it never even happened.
I've seen them where their back legs, either they were born like that or they had to have them amputated, and then they have a cart,
Yep.
and they're just trucking right along like nobody's business, like they're just as normal as the next dog.
Yep.
This is weird. It's cool.
Amazing what they go through.
Well, we kept that dog because my daughter, for some reason or another, never did come and get it. And we kept it, but we kept the dog separated. We were real diligent about keeping them separated for another couple of years. And one time I was just sitting in my chair, and this just happened like 6-7 months ago. I was sitting in my chair, and I didn't know that one dog was out, that both of them were out. I thought I knew one of them was out, but I didn't know the other one was. And they started fighting right under my chair. And that dog had a hold of her throat, and
Oh my gosh.
so that was it. And I called my daughter, and I said, I've got to get rid of your dog. I'm sorry. She was a sweet dog to everybody but this stupid little. I said, but I just can't do this. I can't do it anymore. I said, I'm going to have to take her to the pound.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there can be one dog in the pack that can't get along with another specific dog.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't understand why yet, but they say something to do
They
with
were fixed and everything, so it wasn't like that.
that's not the case.
Were they
Still
female?
have a thing.
What's that?
Were they both females?
Yeah, they were both females and they were both spayed.
Were there any other females?
They're both females.
Yeah, but was there any other female dogs?
Yeah, but she, I used to have a little retarded Chihuahua too. She was, anyway, she was in a crate most of the time because she was already pretty elderly and she was born with a lot of handicaps. She was born with a bad heart, and actually when I took her in for her puppy shots, they told me she wouldn't live to be 7 months old because her heart was so bad. Well, she'd live to be 9.
Why do you call her retarded?
She literally was retarded. Like, she didn't bark. She didn't have a. She was a runt. This Chihuahua had 6 puppies, and there was 2 runts, and she was the smallest of the 2 runts. And the mom was trying not to feed her or anything because the mom knew, something was wrong with her. But no, she was retarded. She like. If you'd have seen her, you'd know. She'd just start barking and her eyes would cross, and she'd try to bark. She didn't have a voice. She'd bark like this.
She lived to be 9 years old?
She lived to be 9 years old, but I babied her whole life. Like, if I would get her out of her crate, instead of letting her walk out of her crate, I would pick her up and hold her and get her blood pumping. Because otherwise, if she would just walk out on her own, she'd pass out. Because she'd run out of oxygen. She'd just pass out. And we did that with her life, and she lived to be 9 years old. She just died right before Christmas this year.
That's probably why the Corgi, didn't have any problems with that one, because she didn't feel any offense. Because it was always in a cage. But the other female being out and loose around, they were probably like feeling there's competition there of the female part.
Yep.
So that's probably
a male Chihuahua too. Actually, he's this fat one's dad. We mated him, bred him, I should say. And I got pick of the litter, and she's the one that looked just like him, and she was a female. So I did have 3 Chihuahuas, that Corgi, and a Lab. now we're down to 3 because Wheezy, that was the little retarded one. She died around Christmas time, and then, like I said, this stuff happened with Maddie, and I had to give her to the pound, and I had to tell
She was just trying to prove that she was the dominant female of the pack.
Yeah, evidently, but she outweighed this one. I mean, she was a lot bigger dog than her, Yeah,
Corgis are good size. I used to have
that dog would get a hold of her.
Yeah, I used to have a Corgi. They're good size, hefty. I mean, they're real
strong. They've got strong jaws.
Yeah.
They're very weighted.
Physically strong too. She pulled me down in the mud one time.
Oh yeah.
She pulled me down in the snow one time.
They don't look like they're that strong for their size, but they've got that weight behind them.
Yeah.
They got that low center of gravity too.
Yeah, they got them short little legs on top of that fat body.
I know. My 2 are female. What's that?
I used to have a Rottweiler one time.
Oh yeah. Did you like the breed?
I liked it, but it would growl at my daughter.
Oh.
So I had to keep my daughter away from it. So I ended up giving it to my ex-wife. And as soon as I took it to my ex-wife, she bit her new husband. And he tore up and down, and I trained him to do it. And I was like, good boy.
You trained it to bite him.
Now, I ended up with it back. I had to take it back, and I ended up giving it to somebody else. That was
I have rescued all of mine. All of them have been rescued. But Maddie was a different kind of a case. There was a family that was moving to Florida where they were having a family crisis, and he said that he couldn't take the dog with them, which then just blows my mind. If I can't go somewhere I can't take my dog, I wouldn't go. But, he had his own issues. So, but Max was a rescue. She was somebody else's, she called her yard ornament, and that she didn't want her anymore. So I rescued her and then Maddie. And they're both females, and they both still get in like little tips with each other. So,
Yeah.
and that's all it is who's going to be the alpha dog. And now if you bring a male in here, they don't care. They won't fight. They, it's totally different. But another female, then it's that who's going to be the boss,
Yeah, who's going to be the head female of the pack.
Yep. So.
Well, and the thing about it, too, is the one that lost her eye, she thinks she's tough.
Well, it's her house, too.
Yeah.
The corgi came into her house,
She
so.
didn't care how big that dog was. She wasn't going to back down to her. So you had two aggressives going at, she never started it, or I never saw her start it, but, Maddie could definitely finish it because she was so much bigger and stronger.
Right.
All three of mine are males, and they don't have no competition between them. They don't fight and stuff. And the smallest one, he's the oldest one. He was here before the other two, and he pretty much can walk up and eat out of their dish if he wants to, or whatever. And if he wants that spot, he'll just go lay down. They don't fight over it. It's just he knows that's what he wants to do. They'll just move.
Yeah.
And there's no arguing about it.
That's another thing too. That corgi was food aggressive, and none of my other dogs are.
Oh no!
I gotta take my dog for a walk. I'll be right back.
And then Peanut being the first one, he came from a puppy mill, and I got him when he was 1 week old, so he didn't even have his eyes open or ears were still shut and everything. Had to bottle feed him, and woman that I got him from, she goes, well, what if he doesn't make it? Because he's a runt of litter. And I said, well, at least I tried. All I can do is try.
Exactly.
So here he is, 8 years old, and still going strong. And so he only knows me as Mama because he's never seen or heard his Mama and stuff, So when I go away, if I have to leave him overnight with somebody, he won't eat, he won't drink, he won't come out from hiding. The minute I walk in the door, he'll come out and do whatever, but he cannot stand not being around me. He hides.
Separation anxiety.
Yeah.
Well,
he goes at night
and he gets retarded girl that I had. They, other than getting her fixed, I never even took her to the vet because she would get so worked up going anywhere like that and going to the vet that she'd pass out. I mean, literally pass out. And she was supposed to be on blood pressure medicine, but me trying to give that to her stressed her out so much that I quit giving her that too, because I always knew that she wasn't going to be here till she was 16 or 18 years old, I always knew that. She wasn't.
And you probably didn't expect 9 years either.
No, I didn't. She did great up until probably the last 3 months before she died. And she wasn't in any kind of pain or anything. She just got to where she didn't want to come out of her crate. She didn't want to be around anyone. And if I did bring her out of her crate, she'd get so winded she couldn't even, I would take her out and put her outside to let her go potty. But I built her like a condo. She had a bathroom area. There was a big wire crate that had newspapers and stuff in it. And that's where she could potty. And then she had a sleeping part, too, that was actually another crate that I hooked onto that wire crate that she, where she could sleep and stuff. So
her own private doggy condo.
Yeah. And the last couple days, she couldn't even bring herself out to potty. She was just pottying on herself.
Yeah.
And
that's when was
actually out of town, and it was freezing out when she died. And I dug her grave the night before because I didn't think she'd live through the night.
Right. I say, when they're starting to get to a point where you either have to, put them to sleep because it's getting too severe, or they just pass away in the night, but
yeah.
If you know your animal and your pet's well enough, something ain't right.
Yeah. Well, when she got to where she couldn't even get up and go to the bathroom, and she was laboring, breathing a little bit sometimes, and I just knew she wasn't going to,
Yeah.
She wasn't suffering. If I would hold her or whatever, she would be just fine, And anyway, she passed away around It was right before Christmas this year.
That is
Yeah.
the hardest thing.
It is.
Hey guys, totally off subject.
With her going though, you know, I mean, like I said, she started getting really bad probably the last week or two before, you know, she just really couldn't do anything anymore. So I was expecting it,
Yeah, you expected it a lot sooner with her, you know, from what the vet said anyhow.
and we always felt like, you know, she was a sweet, sweet little girl, and she was so comical because her eyes would go. She
Crisscross.
thought she was tough. She'd bark at the other dogs and stuff, and her eyes would go crazy. And even the way she was built, she had her back end was higher than her front end. She looked more like a little deer.
But, you know, that's how she knew. You know, she knew herself as that. So, yeah, she took on everything.
Yeah. But
Cool.
nobody ever had a problem with her. All the other dogs knew something was wrong with her and treated her real nice.
That's good.
Hey guys, I got a question.
Yep.
I've been looking on Craigslist and I found this this Class C, and it's a '98. Hang on, let me get back to it. It's a '98 Ford Super something. It's a '98, and it's got 52,000 miles on it, and it's Class C, and it's got 2 slide outs. It's got 3 of the awning things. You know,
Yeah.
they go over the thing. 52,000 miles, and the dude only wants $2,000 for it.
What's wrong with it?
That's what I'm like. I don't
Yeah,
know.
50,000 miles is good because mine's a 76 model and I only had 70,000 on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, it wouldn't hurt to check into it and ask questions, you know, and make sure that all the utilities and everything's working. There's no leaks. You know, I mean, that sounds like a great price if it's,
Actually,
you know,
for that price, even if it doesn't have a generator, and even if the refrigerator and the hot water tank doesn't work, if the motor works and the camper's in decent condition, you can sleep in it and, you know,
Drive.
not have any major. That's way worth it. Even
Yeah,
you know, even without a refrigerator working and hot water tank, I would pay that much for it for sure.
right. Right, because you can get a refrigerator from Walmart for $100. The carpentry work. I mean, if you can do carpentry work, I mean, you can fix anything. Like me fixing the bunk roof and stuff. I mean, the cosmetic type stuff can be fixed.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
But
I had.
main things is your motor, the
Mhm.
tires, water lines can be fixed if you know a little bit about plumbing and the new PVC pipe. Those the lines aren't really a big deal.
Right.
But yeah, you know, you want to check and make sure your hot water heater, if that's working or leaking, you know, check your motor. You've been a mechanic, so you should be able to have no problem checking that out. And that sounds like an awesome deal if everything's
an awesome deal just for the truck part of the camper.
That's what I was wondering. See, and I had emailed him yesterday, and I said I was interested in and asked him a couple questions, and then today he emailed me back with even more pictures, and he said he got it from a divorce, and that he has no use for it, and that he works offshore, so he says that he can meet me when he's in town, and he can show it to me.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah, you definitely want to look at it in person.
Cheap sometimes just because I want to get rid of it.
Just a minute, let me click on your picture so I can see it here. Hold on. What size is it?
I think it's a 31 foot.
I was gonna say that probably has a separate bedroom to it then.
Yeah, it's got a bedroom. He said that the couch folds out, and that there's a
bedroom, couch fold out. There should be another sleeping. Some of them have 2 or 3 sleeping areas
That
in them.
probably has a bedroom as long as it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it had, I guess, the same as yours. That above the.
Yep.
Yeah.
The bunk. Yep.
And then your dinette, if it has a dinette, that probably makes into a bed. And if it has a couch, that probably makes into a bed.
But for that price, if you can go look at it in person and hear it run and like I say, ask him about all the water tank, and have him tell him, I just need to know where these things are. Show me where they are. You can kind of get yourself a little more familiarized with it.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
being your first time RV, and you say, I'm looking for a nice deal. I don't want to buy brand new because it's my first time of actually doing this. So I want to start off simple, and just have them show you, like I say, take a walk around. Have them say, can you give me a walkabout and give me, tell me a little bit more about this.
Right. He says it's a Gulfstream limited edition Triton 6.8 liter V10. Whatever. It's a 1998 Ford East Super Duty RV.
But yeah, 50,000
deal. Like I said, even if the refrigerator doesn't work, even if the hot water, even if the air conditioner doesn't work, just for the camper and the truck part of it,
drivability.
Okay.
That's low miles. I mean, 50,000 is great for
That's
like a
what
nice
I was wondering there.
I was really shocked when this one, being a 76, only had 70,000 on it. I was like, what?
Mine's 79, and I don't think ours has 50 on it yet.
And I just happened to know the lady that had this, and she only sold it to me for $700 because she didn't want it no more. And she was going to just take and junk it. I said, junk it? I said, that motor and everything runs awesome. I mean, you're better off to sell it than junk it.
Right.
I said, the carpentry stuff is nothing. I said, the motor and all that is what you're going for. I said, you can get a lot more than $700 out of it.
Oh, yeah.
If you want it for $700, you can have it. So I started making payments. Now it's mine.
Right.
My dad told me a long time ago, if you can get a vehicle that runs and it's got under 150,000 miles on it, it doesn't matter what it looks like, it's worth $1,000.
Okay.
That's what my dad told me. But he wasn't talking about campers and stuff. He was talking about cars.
Well, it makes sense. So
just go inside of it and push around on the walls and make sure they're not real soft.
Okay.
Look in your closets. I'm sure you know what to look for like moisture, previous moisture and stuff in the wood, and
right.
Make sure you look in the closets or in the cabinets, because a lot of times those are on the outer edges, and sometimes you get leaks and they'll come just up in that area and not actually come into the RV itself.
Okay.
Yeah, take your little flashlight so when you open the cabinets, you can actually look in there and
that's a good idea.
Yeah, just do a good check in the smaller spaces that most people don't normally look. It's like buying a house. You want to make sure everything.
Check out the mechanical of the motor of the thing and the transmission.
Yeah.
Okay.
She knows mechanics, so she should be able to do that without even having to take it into a shop.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Well, it's a 98, so
it's going to have a computer on it.
Yeah. So we'll see.
It's going to be a fuel injection and not a carburetor.
Right. Right. So
yeah, that's true too. Mine's an old-fashioned carburetor.
Our old ones have carburetors. Me and Dee's.
Those are so easy to work on.
Pump it a few times. Yeah, pump it a few times and then crank it.
Yep.
Yep. Well, I'll keep y'all updated. I'll let you definitely know what I find out about it. So.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm gonna go ahead and close this down. It's 10 o'clock. I got one more day. We've had a rough campground with these church kids being here. The cabins are just unbelievably messed.
It's gonna be worse next weekend after the 4th of July weekend, huh?
Well, it won't be so bad. It's like we had these church group of kids, and they each had their own counselor in their cabin with them. But they must have had nothing but junk food, because one was just full of ants where they had candies laying out and sunflower seeds, and every towel is all piled up on top of the blanket, so you have to, everything's soaked, and refrigerators had melted popsicles and stuff in them, so, you got to clean every detail in these things. That's pretty bad.
All right. Well, it's been fun. This has been a fun chat.
Yeah, it's nice to meet everyone.
Interesting to me. And Sandra, do you have a channel? Do you have your videos?
The name of the channel is Kipper, Kipper.
Okay, I'm gonna that is
put your cruiser over that little arrow on her picture and click it. You'll see an option to go to her profile.
Yeah, if you put your mouse down on the picture, and there's a little white arrow. If you click on the arrow, it will say something about take you to profile or see profile. Then when you go to profile, you can hit either sub or see their actual profile and stuff. And
I just subbed to her earlier.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. I'll check out everybody else. It was good to meet everyone.
yeah, I'm glad you
All
came in.
I've been doing is karaoke. I haven't made any videos about camper yet.
Okay.
So,
Well, next time you have another hangout, send me the invite again, and I'll join you guys. So,
Okay.
Well,
all
this
right.
is fun.
Well,
Good
good
night,
night.
everybody.
Good
All
night,
right. Have a
y'all.
good weekend.
yeah,
All right.
thanks for
Bye-bye.
having me.
Bye. By my buttons here.